And we back. Yeah.
Hey, we live now, really.
Hey, we live now, really? Really? Yes, we live. Hey, how my beautiful people doing out here? How you doing? That's a real question. No, for real. How you doing? For real. How you doing? Anyway, hey, quick question. Did you miss me? Because I missed you, man. And yes, we back down like SmackDown. Come on. Production, why we move? Well, can we give the camera in one place, please? Please. Don't play with me. Anyway. How you doing though? Hey, you know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that bell button, hit that follow button. If you're new to the channel, then hey, go ahead and show your boy some love, man. You already know what's going down. You here for the one and only Relly Gems, and you here to get these gems. Whether you call me Relly, Mr. Wilson, you call me Maine, you call me this, you call me that, whatever you call me, just don't call me Collect, please. All right. Regardless, though, hey, before we get started. Nah, for real. Before we get started, like you really got to do me a favor. Like all jokes aside, let me stop playing. Make sure you do me for real. Just one favor. I promise you, this is gonna be the last thing I ask you. Please do this for me. Do this for me, please. Make sure you send this to your mama, your daddy, your best friend of another friend, Lit Johnny, Lit Timmy. Don't forget about little Susie too, who just moved up the street. And don't forget about Lit Josh, who just moved across the street from her. Yes, he was supposed to move up the block, down the street, but he moved right across the street from her. So hey, lucky us. You don't gotta go too far to give him these gems. You don't. All right. But without further ado, yeah, we back. And if you read the title, it's the same thing, different day. We gotta go ahead and get down to it. We gotta go ahead and make sure that everything that we doing is up to par because it's some new developments in this Nolan Wells case. Yes, when I say new developments, I mean it is about to get spooky for a lot of people. And with the audio being enhanced by this person, that person, and for us, as the viewers, taking people's word for it, if this audio is real, if it's true, yeah, it's not looking pretty, my friends. It is not looking pretty for Nolan Wells' friends. We're gonna get into that. Then we're going to get into all NFL updates / previews. We're going to be talking about some teams that I think are sleeper teams. We're going to be talking about, yes, the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson. We're going to also talk about the Minnesota Vikings and Kyler Murray going against that boy, J.J. McCarthy. Yes, we're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about it all and more. So, yes, grab your popcorn. Wherever you at, make sure you got something to drink too. All right, grab a little snack, sit back, relax, and it's a lot that we're going to get into today. All right, you understand me? Is that okay? Is it allowed? Can we talk about it? Can we really talk about it? Because, man, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. But the good thing is, I'm here for you. I got you. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to cover it all. All right, but for real, before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and make sure you're sending this to everybody because, hey, you can't keep all these gems to yourself. Like when I say that, like I'm for real. Like that's selfish, man. Ain't no need to be selfish. Come on, you got to show the love. Show the wealth. All right, you can't keep all these gems to yourself. All right? I'm just saying. All right, don't come at me. You don't got to come at me like that. You don't. All right, be cool. Be fair. All right, come on now. Regardless, yes, today, like I said, we get into a lot of NFL topics and a lot of news around the league, a lot of my predictions for this upcoming season for a couple different teams. So we get into some NFL previews. I will probably say that for last because this Nolan Wells thing, we got to continue to talk about it. At the end of the day, we just getting started with the new developments that are happening over there. Because if I'm being honest, it ain't looking pretty for a lot of people. It's not looking pretty at all. I would not lie to you. Like if I'm lying, I'm lying. All right? Like when I tell you, there's some people who probably need to be arrested and some people who probably gonna be going to jail sometime soon. Like I can't make this up. I'm dead serious. It is looking ugly for a lot of people, but you know, it is what it is. You know, some people they're gonna get what they deserve. Some people they're gonna get justice. Some people go, you know, be a lot happier when these people are off the streets, they're in jail, and you know, at the end of the day, they get what they got coming to them. Because when this story continues to unfold how it's unfolding, and some of the things that I'm seeing online, some of the things that I'm reading, some of the things that I'm hearing with my own 2 ears, this Nolan Wells case, man, is one that's really giving everybody, well, not getting everybody. I want to say capturing everybody's attention. Let's say that. That's a better term, better word, ain't it? All right, but without further ado, first video that we gonna get into, you know, Nancy on they head tops. All right, when I tell you Nancy ain't playing, Nancy don't play. All right, without further ado, let's hear what Nancy Grace had to say about this topic today, because I told you she ain't gonna play with you. When Nancy on the case, boy, you better watch out. I wouldn't want to be on Nancy's bad side or in her crosshairs. I promise you that. I promise you. But all right, all jokes aside, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, Nolan Wells updates coming at you first. Then we will get into NFL topics, sports topics, LeBron and all that. I promise you, we won't get into it all today. Long stream coming your way. But hey, like I said, grab your snacks, man. Get ready. Let's roll. Let's go.
If he was sent face down, that also doesn't make sense to me. If he's face down, wouldn't blood pool just by nature of gravity this way?
So right now we've got a lot of questions, but as the second doctor says, this is all still pending investigation.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
Whoa.
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the West.
CETO.
What happened?
So this is audio from the Mississippi Department of Marine Services. CETO released this dispatch call, and this is at the beginning of the call. So when the music is just playing and it's da-da, this is an audio that was enhanced, and they cut out the da-da, the music, so that way you can just hear the voices. And this is the real audio. Thank you, Nancy.
If this were your child, wouldn't you want to know what happened?
Is he dead? Nolan.
CETO
Is he dead? Oh my God. Nolan don't die. Whoa.
Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What did we just hear? What was that?
Talk to me, Nancy.
One more time, please.
Run it back. Oh, she got it. See, Nancy, that's why I like you.
CETO Assistant.
So, first transcript. One male is saying, sure he's dead. Female, is he dead? Nolan.
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
You got a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Straight out to investigative reporter crime stories. Dave Mack, did you just hear what I heard?
Yeah,
Now,
I heard it.
This has been transcribed, and this
Nancy,
is
I heard it
the
too.
CTO dispatch call. Because, Dave, when I first heard this, I thought, has this been doctored? Is this real? Where's this coming from, Dave?
TMZ.
Nancy, this is
Interview.
coming from the from Mississippi, from the actual official. Okay, when we get into the Mississippi Fish and Wildlife and at the reserve
TMZ was
putting
allowed
this
to
out for the public.
Yes, this
is not like from Dave Mack's recording. This is an official recording, Nancy, that is being issued, and it's shocking when you listen to this call for a tow, for the CTO. Going further into it, Nancy, you're picking apart all of the different voices that can be heard on this one phone call, trying to determine what is really taking place on this boat that is allegedly sitting in 31 feet of water, a depth of 31 feet. And a bilge pump not working, claiming they're sinking, and calling for help. And yet, in the background.
And then you saying that you don't need the Marine services. Why wouldn't you need the Marines? Why wouldn't you need their services if you sinking? Wouldn't you want anybody who close by can help to help? But let them finish.
Are we really hearing all of this other activity?
Guys, this was released from the MDMR, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources.
Legitimate source.
Alexis Tereszchuk joining us out of LA, just joining us now.
If I'm them boys right now, I'm on the next thing smoking. If I'm anybody that was on that boat, on that call, mama, daddy, you're going to have to send me money for the rest of your life. I will work in the next country that doesn't have no extradition. I am gone. I'm out of it. I'm on the next thing out. If I'm being honest with y'all, dog, like, if I'm them, dog, I am gone. I am out of there. Y'all ain't come arrest me yet. I still got my passport. Where they don't got extradition? I'm just saying. Continue, Nancy.
A Crime Stories investigative reporter as well. Alexis, the transcription, I want you to listen to it, Alexis, as we play it again. This is obtained from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It's not something we just found on TikTok. Listen.
Not something we just found on TikTok. Not something we just found on TikTok. So that means it's legitimate.
How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What?
Okay, Alexis
That's
Tereszchuk,
probably
jump
the
in.
most craziest response. I don't know. We're going down.
So it sounds like before the woman starts talking, the operator, everyone in the background is saying, "Is he dead? Nolan, wake the f- up." And so they are concerned about Nolan. They're saying, literally, is he dead? Nobody has ever, none of the kids on this boat have ever admitted that anybody said that they thought Nolan was dead on the boat. This is the first time that we are hearing this.
What is the chance that this has been doctored in some way, Alexis Tereszchuk? Because circulating on the internet was a scene where another young man was face down being attacked on the sand. That was not Nolan Wells. That's not Nolan Wells. Repeat. So there are bottom feeders that are fabricating evidence and circulating it, and it's whipping up all sorts of hostility. But regarding this, have you listened to it independently of any transcription?
I have listened to it. I've listened to it over and over, and I've listened to the audio where it's only the sound of the boy calling in and not the operator's voice. So it takes a little bit of the distraction out, and you can just hear the voices, the one friend saying, is he dead? And we are hearing somebody very worried. They're saying, is he dead? Somebody, you think you might have heard them say Nolan right before that. Somebody then says, oh my God. So the thing is, there have been a lot of false videos. People have said there was a video where Nolan was screaming, saying, give me my phone back. His friend says, no, that's me in the video. There have been tons of AI generated videos and images and things, but this is the official audio from the organization.
Hold on. She said this is a what? Yeah. This is the what? This is the, did we hear that correctly? Let me play it back for y'all.
But this is the official audio from the organization.
Holy shit. Holy smokes. Somebody's in trouble. We're going to get justice. They haven't been arrested yet. If I'm them and I know what really happened and this really happened and it just so happened that these Mississippi, whoever, the people who are in charge, the people who call CETO, this is a government entity because they work in a body of water. They release this themselves to say, hey, this is for the public. And if I was on that boat and me heard this was going around, mama, where my passport at? What country don't got extradition again? Can we go now? I just give me about 5,000, 10,000. I'll make it work. Just call me. I'll call you when I get there. Bruh, I will be on the next thing out the country. Y'all got millions of dollars. Stay around and get caught if you want to. Because this right here, if this is officially official and coming from the source itself, look at her face. Look, she know. look at her face. Even she knows. She like, yeah, they going to jail. Yeah, it's a wrap.
Okay, let's hear the audio to which you are referring. Listen.
This was just Wyatt.
Now, it's my understanding, Dave Mack, that sound we just played is real sound. That is not doctored sound, but someone else claims that's them saying, give me my phone back. That is not Nolan Wells. Explain.
Hold on. We know who. We know. Oh, my goodness. We know who's saying it. We know who's saying that's not Nolan. We know who's saying it. We definitely know who's saying it. You know, I think I talked about it maybe here once or twice. So y'all go check this video out, man. Anyway, let's hear me talk about it. Really adding up. Even look at your faces you making. You that mad because his mama said that she don't know you? The fact that you is this mad basically proves her right. Just saying. If you study body language, what you trying to keep safe, bro? This is his friend Tristan Shepard. All right, that's Tristan. That's who they talking about. I had to give y'all a picture just in case you didn't show him. But let's get back to the regular scheduled program.
Well, Nancy, what we have is some friends that were also out on the boat trip out to Horn Island that were with Nolan Wells and were friends with Nolan Wells. Claim that was him, that he was the one that was saying, give me my phone back, that it wasn't Nolan Wells. So we've got an identification from the person who says, I was the one saying that. It wasn't Nolan Wells. And when you listen to the audio, Nancy, it does seem like it is not Nolan Wells saying, give me my phone back. It sounds like the guy claiming it.
Guys, a lot of confusion surrounds.
Yeah. It's a lot of confusion because just with this minimum confusion, let me ask y'all, chat. Like just with the minimum confusion that we have, like right now, like if I'm being honest, just with the minimum confusion that we have, do y'all think somebody should have been arrested by now? Do y'all think somebody at least should have had maybe their phone searched, their boat searched, or just something? Because from the start, the sheriff said it was no foul play. From the start, the sheriff said that this looks like just an accidental drowning. Well, fuck it, don't look so accidental now, my friend. It don't look so accidental now. Anyway, I digress.
The audio that has been released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. This, as we are also learning about an offer made by the United Cajun Navy to Ben Crump, who is representing Nolan's family, to Todd Terrell joining us, the president of the Cajun Navy. Todd, thank you for being with us tonight. Todd, explain to me the offer that you guys made to Crump.
Well, first of all, I want to make sure that I really am specific about the words I use because I don't want things taken out of context. Me personally, as president of the United Cajun Navy, made a call to Mr. Crump.
Nancy, you're jumping around. So we're going to get back to her making a call, them making a call to Trump, talking about if they can search the boat, blah, 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 blase, right? But the family told them that they didn't want them to search the boat because at the end of the day, the family wasn't trusting them. I wouldn't have trusted them either. So that's why the family told them that they couldn't search the boat. Because the officer who the family is associating with the Cajun Navy, essentially, right? They said that, hey, this looks like just an accidental drowning, no foul play suspected. You said that not even an hour after just finding the body. So yes, if I'm Crump and the team and y'all asking if the dogs can sniff the boat, no, that's going to be huge evidence in court. So no, I will not want you to search that boat because if you end up finding nothing, right? If you end up finding nothing, that's going to look bad in court. Because that's going to be a piece of evidence that the defense uses against Crump them, you know.
And offering him our services for dogs, cadaver dogs, and specific scent dogs. I never heard back from him. Our incident commander, Josh Gill, did speak to Liza Parks, I think he's one of his lead attorneys or whatever, and offered the services as well. The rumors about us talking to Mr. Crump, personally, I want to set the record straight. Nobody, myself, nor anyone from United Cajun Navy spoke personally to Mr. Crump. We did reach out and make an offer, but we did not hear back from him.
Well, if y'all ain't reaching out personally, how he gonna believe the offer? If you ain't reaching out personally in a case this significant and with this much mystery, at the very beginning it was this much mystery. How come you wouldn't reach out personally? I wouldn't have trusted you either. Because who is it really coming from? Somebody random just saying we can search the boat and then this might come back in court? And they potentially can use this against us in protecting the boys or the girls or whoever did this? No, I wouldn't want to use you either. Chad, let me know if I'm tripping.
Okay. Much has been made of the offer to, was it cadaver dogs, scent dogs, or both, Todd?
It was both. It was cadaver dogs and specific scent dogs. And, you know, some of this needs to be clarified. Okay. And you know, we did make an offer, but we did not hear from him himself.
Gotcha. There's a lot of people on the team. So who is it that you said you guys contacted or spoke with?
Liza Park. And we have a phone record. Our guy, Josh Gill, my incident commander, on the 13th, left her a message. And on the 14th, they reached out to her. And I think got back, I think it was 9:51 on the 14th. There was a 23-minute call with Josh Gill, our incident commander, and Liza Park.
All right. I can care less about all that. Thank you, Nancy, for getting him off the screen.
Marie, thank you for being with us tonight. Here's the deal. A lot has been made that Nolan Wells' family turned down an offer to have the boat searched with cadaver dogs, which, if they had hit on the boat, would suggest a dead body had been on the boat. Here is the fly in the ointment. It's not their boat. They can't give authority or permission or privilege for anybody to get on that boat and search the boat. So the fact that Crump's team didn't call back means nothing. They were not authorized to give authority or privilege or permission for anybody to board that boat, much less a cadaver dog or a scent dog.
Exactly.
You nailed it. And it's not his job or anybody else's to do what the police need to be investigating. After hearing that audio and knowing all the facts, they should be investigating this like it's a homicide and stop with the he say, she say from all of those kids on the boat who are presumed innocent at this moment, but I'm seeing and hearing guilt. Just off the fact that they even had his phone, that part. Why did you even have his telephone? I will never get over that because even as an adult, my phone is my life. If I'm staying back doing anything, I'm staying with my phone. So they need to be investigating all of those kids, interviewing them piece by piece, one at a time. And I promise you, somebody's going to break and tell the truth here.
Goddamn bomb for her. Can we drop another bomb for her? Finally, somebody didn't say it. Oh my God. What?
Joining me is Marie Pereira. You know, in any criminal investigation, the first thing you do is get all the parties, all of them, and you separate them and you question them separately. You give them a waiver of their rights. They read it, they sign it, you read it out loud to them, you get all this on video, and you ask each one separately what happened before they have a chance to get together and talk.
Damn, Nancy, you know that too? Damn, Nancy says she even know that. So if Nancy know that, then I'm confused on how the Jackson County Sheriff Department and their detectives, how did they forget such a thing? How did they forget such a thing? I'm just asking for a friend. It's kind of amazes me. It amazes the hell out of me. Whew. Holy. 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 Let's get here a word from our bedroom lawyer.
When you saw your friend die, and your first fucking thought is, can we cover it up? I mean, I don't even know what type of people how is that your first thought? Can we cover it up? That just completely has me frazzled. Like, I'm kind of like a gangster, and I would have never thought that if my fucking good friend died, the first thought is, can we cover it up? Y'all are fucking trash.
And then y'all
son.
proceed.
Y'all are such trash human beings. Trash human beings from good fucking families, right? From good families, right? Who y'all gonna be so fucking broke after this?
Can we drop a bomb for our bedroom lawyer coming in with the word of the day? We drip her one more bomb because she's not lying. Dog. At this point, this shit doesn't look good for anybody involved. And you lying. And you really sipping some Kool-Aid or some apple juice. If you really think that this case had at least no foul play at the bare minimum. Forget of murder, forget manslaughter, forget second degree, forget all the charges, forget all that. But you are legitimately lying to yourself if you believe that this case had no foul play. Nothing happened. You're lying. You're lying. Whew. Nolan's phone. The fact that he didn't have it at the very, very beginning proves negligence by the sheriff's department. The fact that they didn't give Nolan his phone and they had his phone and all of a sudden he's missing and he stayed on an island and he didn't grab his phone. That's y'all story. And there's girls involved. It's females involved and who was on the boat. And you might be scared of those males, but your family, you don't think your family will protect you? You really that scared to come forward and tell the truth? Because this call proves something was going on that boat. Who knows what? Something happened.
I'm not saying the friends are guilty. I'm not saying they're innocent. What I am saying is that would have been proper police procedure. For all we know, it did happen. It doesn't sound like it happened, but for all we know, it may have happened. The next thing you do is you ask them, would they willingly take a polygraph? Now, you and I, Marie Pereira, know that in a criminal case, polygraphs are not allowed into evidence unless they are stipulated, agreed to, before the polygraph is taken. It's the only way they come in. Now, in civil cases, they're allowed in. Think of O.J. Simpson. Didn't come in the criminal case, did come in the civil case, and P.S., he flunked it. That said, that's what you do. You separate them, you talk to them, you record it, you get their waiver of rights, you read their rights out loud on video, then you talk to them. Not hard. Next thing, you bring cadaver dogs and scent dogs on that boat. Now, scent dogs are going to hit on the boat anyway because they state Nolan was on the boat. So they're going to pick up Nolan's scent on that boat. Cadaver dog, whole nother story. And another thing, I would get a search warrant for it. You may not need a search warrant because a moving vehicle, as you know, Marie Pereira, under U.S. v. Carroll, that was the case that goes all the way back to moonshine days, bootleggers. If it's exigent circumstances and
All right. We appreciate you, Nancy. But let's get back to my bedroom lawyer.
See the strategy of what we were doing to build the case. Okay, you start with the shit you know you can prove. Baby, we had him on manslaughter and accessory, period. Okay? We trying to get him to come forward. They not all right. You gave us more time. All right. By last night, before we really had the fully enhanced vocal, we had him on M2. We had him on second-degree murder. Easy. After all that, after the bar, that was M2. Easy. But then after the CTO came out, baby, the immediate go for the cover-up, not even, bro, y'all got M1 now. Y'all fucking got fucking M1 now.
And one is voluntary manslaughter.
And now we can prove it with that audio. Okay? And it looks like Bart is fucking suspect number one, baby. All because y'all kept saying buddy. See, I'm trained to know what to look for with you stupid lying ass kid. Do you see the strategy?
Buddy. That's what they kept on saying. That's what Warren was saying. That's what his friend, let me correct it, my bad. His best friend, Tristan Shepard, that kid, he kept on saying, our buddy, my pal. Interesting, my friend. Very interesting. But I digress. SO to Nancy, being on the case. SO to him. Another perspective coming up. All right. But in the meantime, as we're taking this short intermission, did you Did you subscribe? Did you follow? Don't be a ghost watcher. Don't do me like that. I wouldn't do you like that. All right. Put your channel in the comment section or in the chat. I guarantee I'll go blow your channel up. I'll go show you some love. All right. Show your boy some love now. promise. I'll return a favor. You don't even got to be like that. You don't got to be like that, my friend. You ain't even got to do me like that. Show me some love. That's it. That's all I ask you, okay? That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all, my friend. All right. Hold on. All right. We're going to get into some other stuff, but the TMZ guy, Don Lemon, or Lemon, I don't know how the hell you say your name, but he had him on his show. Let's go ahead and get into it.
You spoke to the people, some folks who were saying that they saw him there after that. And then, of course, you guys also had the audio. First of all, what do you think of this audio? Are you hearing what she has
Don,
here?
I listened to this audio probably 25 times this morning. I listened to it without earbuds. I did it with earbuds. I cranked up the speakers on my desk and slowed it down every which way. There are very few things that are very clear on it. To me, what's clear, someone yells, "Shut the bleep up." It's also very clear when someone says, "Oh my God." The two critical parts, or there were three critical parts. Is he dead?
Mm-hmm.
And the actual someone actually saying Nolan, and then the other part being when someone says something about his chest, about checking his chest. Those three things were not nearly as clear to me. They just never were clear. And I think what's happening is that people are having confirmation bias. That if you just listen to it without any words on a screen, without any captions,
get to the point.
There's something said, but
my God, you see how he trying so bad to say he did it, bro. It's either you heard some or you didn't. Y'all TMZ, y'all people who be pushing towing the goddamn line, bro. Don't toe the line. It's either you heard some or you didn't. Ain't nobody gonna sue you over it. Ain't nobody gonna fire you, dog. God damn. Just say if you heard some or you didn't. Instead of, if we really listened, if I took the headphones out, if I listened to it, I turned it up, and then I heard this. And, bruh, just say what you heard. The fuck? Excuse my French, y'all, but God.
But I don't think any of it, those critical parts, are clear. Now, when you listen to it with and watch it with a caption, yes, well, then now your brain is hearing what you're reading. I just don't know that it's clear there. Now, the bigger thing is that call was made after they left the island. Wyatt and Warren and company, there were 5 other people on the boat, according to what Wyatt said to the tow company, a total of 7. That call was made after they had left Horn Island. We know they left Horn Island at 4:30. We know that from GPS data. So that if they're talking about Nolan and about Nolan being dead and checking his chest, if it were true, that means that Nolan was on the boat when they left Horn Island. We've spoken to people with direct knowledge of the investigation. These are not friends that we're talking about, but people with direct knowledge of the investigation who say that the sheriff's department has evidence, don't know if it's video or photo, and that they've also spoken to witnesses who can place Nolan on the island, on Horn Island, after 4:30. So I just don't know how both of those things can be true. If he's still on the island after 4:30, how is he on the boat and they're talking about him?
So who's dead on a boat then? Why is all that noise if you really got to get towed? If all this is really happening, if his grandpa called the tow man and said we didn't need to get towed, if Bart's on the phone, or not Bart, Wyatt's on the phone, and Wyatt's saying, hey, at the end of the day, Bart, go down, pull the plug, go do this, go do that. And then he's also saying, no, don't send the Marine, the U.S. submarines or whoever to come get him if nothing's going on. But why is all this commotion in the background? And y'all saying it's not fake. You're saying the audio is real. The people who released it, they are a legitimate government entity. So let's not play. I hate TMZ. You work for TMZ, so I know you playing both. Yeah.
Him being injured or dead on the boat. They just don't add up.
So let me give you a scenario because listening to it, they said we were at I forget what he says, a tip or something of.
He said on the west tip of Horn Island.
West tip of Horn Island. And the guy on the beach is saying they were having boat trouble. So I think they had boat trouble before they left the beach. Like they realized the bilge wasn't working.
Right.
And so I think that they were there. They said they were in 17 feet of water. So 17 feet of water, I'm not sure exactly there. So that's getting away from the beach a little bit. So maybe I'm thinking that they weren't that far away from the beach. And that's when they were yelling at him, not necessarily that he was in the boat, but maybe they left him there and he's like, hey guys, wait for me, and then went in and then something happened. But it doesn't mean that he wasn't. They could be near the beach looking at him alive or dead.
You can't tell.
Yeah, you can't tell from that. So I don't know, but Charles, I heard, is he dead? Without even the transcript. I heard that, and then there was another thing that I heard. There was one other thing without the transcript that I heard as well.
Nolan?
No, Nolan wasn't so clear to me, I believe. But Charles, can we listen to it with you? Can you listen?
Yeah, please. I'd love to. Yeah.
Close your eyes and then let's everybody listen. All right.
I ain't closing my eyes. I'll listen. Well, he heard me laugh. Is he dead? No. Oh my God.
Hey, we're at the west tip of.
So I heard. Can you cover it up? Is he dead? Now I don't know if they're saying Nolan or whatever. I did hear that. I mean, and I don't know if that's confirmation.
Yeah.
What did you guys hear? Let me know. And look, Charles, let me just make this clear. We're speculating here. We're listening. And my question for you is, has this been authenticated or corroborated in any way by any official?
We have not heard that from the sheriff's department. But to be honest, also the sheriff's department isn't saying a lot about the investigation.
They
seem to be very tight-lipped at this point. And I think that's because
what are we talking about?
And maybe it's already convened, but that they're expected to convene a grand jury to conduct further investigation into this. Yeah. So I don't know. It has not been confirmed by anyone. Everybody is listening to it though and forming their own opinions. And so that's what's out there more than anything, because if the police aren't talking, everybody who's watching this case will be talking, and that's what sets the narrative until you hear anything from the police.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
That's a fact.
Go ahead, Daniel, if you have a question.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I called the sheriff's office 3 times, and then I called the direct line specifically 3 times, so 6 times in total, and the numbers either kept ringing or went to voicemail. Nobody even picked up, which before I left for vacation, they were at least picking up, saying, hey, yeah, we'll get back to you. He's in a meeting. But I talked to Don in our meeting. I said, Don, have you tried calling? Like, what is this? Don said, yeah, I mean, they're just not talking. So I probably, to your point, they probably want to wait until the grand jury happens. But, as for the confirmation bias, I brought that up. And I've been one. Listen, the people have been coming for me for being a person to say, let's wait for the investigation. Let's hold out. We don't know what happened. And so I feel like for me, if I'm listening to this and I hear Nolan and I hear, is he dead? Again, I just feel like that has to be damning evidence if this is real. Now, again, it's 2026. We all know AI exists. We all know like audio needs to be authenticated. If this hasn't been authenticated, then I don't know. And we also, listen, as I said before you hopped on here, Charles, that TMZ, you all have people who are close to this investigation who saw him and believe that there's either video or audio or something, a photo that shows he was alive after they left, which if that's true, then our ears are deceiving us.
Yeah.
If it was people who said he was alive after they left, dog. How can 2 things be true? I don't know. All right. Should we go back to our internet now? Let's hear from our bedroom lawyer. Let's see what she has to say about the case. All right.
To decide what's good enough. We heard several people on that boat. One of them particularly is the female voice that said, can we cover it up? So we know we've got 3 of them on the hook. We know we can charge Wyatt, Warren, and Bart with first-degree murder right now. Okay? Do you want to find that female? Was that Katie? Who was on that boat that said, can we cover it up? Because I'm sorry, I don't think I would have been willing to just take those 3, but I need to find you. I need to find you and who your fucking parents are and who fucking raised you. Because you, the girl I would have thought that would have been on the side of get help was the first one that said, can we cover it up? Hell, I already thought about that. Y'all were already thinking about how to cover it up. This is first-degree murder, you dumb hoes. So now you need to decide what's good enough. We heard several people on that boat. One of them particularly.
Bedroom lawyer makes a point. Whoever that girl was, and I heard that in a separate audio. I don't know if I played that audio for y'all, but you do hear someone say, can we cover it up? Or actually, was that the Don Lemon audio? It was one of them. We're going to listen back to the audio. But if somebody really said, and if that comes out in court, that the girl, who we assume as a woman, you're going to probably be like, hey, how about let's get help? How about let's call 911? How about, yes, have the Marines come? But you saying, can we cover it up? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. That was it. I don't want to. But if it comes out in court that one of the voices actually did say that, with, of course, police, enhancing the video and the police, doing what police do, and they got way better technology, way better stuff than us. So guaranteed, the police, the feds, y'all can't run from this now. It's public. It's out there. So somebody's going to go to jail. Just saying. If this call proves to be true, somebody's going down.
In other words, the evidence could lead. In that case, it was a car that was weighted down in the back. And the prohibitionists thought there was moonshine in it. And there was. And that any evidence to have on to Todd Terrell, President Cajun Navy. You guys have at your access scent dogs and cadaver dogs. Do you believe, Todd, that any evidence of a body on that boat would still be detectable, even now?
Not speaking specifically in this case, but in past cases, we've had dogs detect body, blood and smell months and even years later. Our biggest thing was, you got to eat this elephant one piece at a time. And if no one thought there was anything on that boat, they should be willing to allow dogs to go on the boat. So for us, it's a matter of just, it's another tool. It's a tool to use. Dogs aren't 100%, but these dogs are pretty damn close to it.
Joining me now is
Hey, I
Elliot.
like him. Let's drop a bomb for what he said, because we might have to call you back, man. We might, hey, Crump, man. I might have to send Crump a little message, man. Reach back out to him, man. Maybe they might, actually do some work. And then if they don't let them search the boat, then obviously, and then we know who killed him. Drop a bomb for my guy. Great take, man. I appreciate that. Nancy, you're doing your big one today. Let's continue.
Out of Arlington, Texas, psychotherapist. He's author of Change Your Questions, Change Your Future. Elliot, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Both sides are so ready to jump on each other. I imagine, I'm guessing, I don't know what Crump's thinking, but he did not have authority to release that boat. It's not his boat. That's like me telling you, Elliot, sure, go ahead, search Dave Mack's house. I don't care. You've got my permission. That's not my house. I can't give permission for you to go search it. Facts. So it's really simple.
Facts. That's absolutely right. It's really simple. I don't really understand so much of this. Like, people are, like you said, they're one side is going after the other instead of just accepting really logical things like the point that you're making here. Like, the family does not have the right to tell the other family what they can and cannot do with the boat. And other people are using that as evidence that there's something somehow wrong with what the family is saying, when all they really want is justice. And justice is the pursuit of truth. And it just seems to be triggering people in such an odd way that I, quite frankly, don't understand.
Guys, I want to circle back, not
Yeah, you and me both. We'll understand it because that's crazy because he makes a great point. This case is triggering a lot of people. And it's like, why are you triggered by just a family searching for answers about something that happened to their son? It's like, do y'all not want the family to find answers? If this was your son, would you want people going against you for just trying to find answers about what happened to your kid, the kid that came out of your testicles, your stomach, your ovaries? I'm just saying. That's what anybody would want to do. And yes, we internet detectives. They out here. Yes, people are jumping to conclusions. Yes. But it's not like we getting answers from the sheriff department of Jackson County. It's not like we getting answers from the DA. So it's like, dog, what you want people to do? But for some of y'all jumping to conclusions, I ain't saying lock everybody up yet. I'm saying they should have had their phone search. I'm saying that they should have been properly investigated. And then if they're ruled out, they're ruled out. Leave it at that. Then move on. But a proper investigation needs to be done, regardless. And for people to just want a proper investigation to be done, you mad? What?
Only to the beginning of that MR, Mississippi Department Marine Research call. I want you to hear more, a different segment of that SEATO, that's SEATOW call. Listen.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We are sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
17
foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
See, he said they're in 31 foot of water. If you're in 31 foot of water, bro, let's continue. Because just pay attention. Remember that, 31 foot of water. Just remember that.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor or Fort Bayou Launch.
You know, it just struck me. He's got reception. Why is everybody saying you can't make calls and you can't take pictures because there's no reception? He's out in the middle of the water at those coordinates and he's got reception. Remember that? Alexis Tereszchuk, Crime Stories investigative reporter? We were told at the beginning that items were not deleted off Nolan Wells' phone, but he wasn't posting because there wasn't reception. But they're out in the middle of the water and they've got reception.
They do. He has really good reception, and you can hear it clearly throughout this call.
He has really
but
good reception.
The stories maybe have changed.
Really good reception.
A few times. First, it was he didn't have any reception. The other was, nobody took their phones on the island because you had to wade through some water to get to it. And they even said, well, this is salt water, not fresh water, as if that matters to your phone when you drop it into it. But there are videos from the island. It's even some of his friends are in videos from the island. So people clearly had their phone. And the other friend was arguing when we're talking about the videos that people worry about that have said that it was him. His friend was seen in the videos screaming, "Give me back my phone." The phones were there. Other kids had their phones.
Okay. But before I discount claims that Nolan did not have reception, I don't know what carrier he had. Maybe he didn't have reception. My point is, why everybody's screaming to shut this investigation down, I don't know, because these are very rudimentary facts that we don't have the answers to. He is talking about the boat taking on water. We are sinking. Come get us. I want this boat unsank and towed back. But interesting, we learn that very boat took multiple trips later that very same night.
Shit, somebody said it. Nancy, you really out here doing your job? I'm just saying. And let's remind the people of just some basic questions that he just couldn't answer. Nancy gonna eventually get to this, but I just want to show y'all. Let's remember. Because if the boat is sinking and she's asking you basic questions about the boat, how come you can't give us basic
Detail
questions?
assistant,
Oh,
Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
How far is the water coming up?
What'd you
Hello?
say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Bruh, if this is a bulge pump and most boats have the same bulge pump right there, and it's up to your ankles, that's why she said ankles. How come you can't answer the basic questions? I digress. We'll get back to it though.
So first, at 9:56 a.m., the boat leaves the original dock. It arrives at Horn Island at 11:14. So at around 4 o'clock, there is a call to the Coast Guard about the boat. NBC News got a hold of it.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Everybody's on board. So does that mean Nolan is on there? Who was on that boat? At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island and it is towed approximately 3 miles, and then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. Now, the boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock. Then, from the original dock, the boat goes back to Fort Bayou, and then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock, travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock? And then from there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap? This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes. You would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
And
that's from the Real TikTok Detective and from NBC. So it doesn't sound to me, Dave Mack, that the boat was sinking, because they're going all over in the boat. So if the boat's not sinking, why the sea tow call? Why the distress call?
Yeah, Nancy, the one thing you have to remember on that first sea tow call, you hear them saying, we're in 30 feet of water, we're sinking, we need to be unsank and towed. But if you follow along with that communication, the sea tow company reaches out to a local captain nearby and says, hey, we've got a boat, can you go take a look? And the captain nearest to the boat says, hey, I just got a call from the owner of that boat. He says they've resolved the problem and don't need us anymore. So, and this happened.
How does that make sense if they resolve the problem and they don't need them no more? When the dispatcher is literally on the phone and he literally said this not even 5 minutes ago before she switched to the dispatcher to tell him about what's going on. How don't they need them anymore? He just said we're in a 31 foot of water. He literally said that maybe 2 or 3 minutes before she switched to dispatch, before she switched over the call. And I feel like I should replay the audio right now at this moment so that way we can get some clarity. But I'm going to save it for later. But just remember that moment, y'all.
And during the course of 10 minutes, Nancy, so they're calling for help and then not calling for help. So something was definitely going on with this Triton 21-footer that they cannot explain.
Interesting.
Hi, guys. American. That's Twitter.
They're so right? Something was going on. Do y'all agree with that? Something was going on. Let's hear from somebody else who listened to the audio so that way y'all can see I'm not biased here. Other people are saying the same thing. Whoa. Well, I'm lying. Production. Come on, stop doing that, man. Send me the video with the audio ready.
Xavier Wells update. And Gianetta Brantley has done God's work, and she has separated the audio from the emergency call. And just a trigger warning, you guys, this could be the incriminating evidence we've been looking for. Listen to this.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
And I think that's why they ain't say wake up, wake the fuck up. They said shut up, shut the fuck up. And that's why it's probably telling them why he put the phone here. Shut the fuck up, I'm talking to Cito. So that part I refute. They didn't say wake up, wake up. They didn't say get the fuck up. He said on his phone, shut the fuck up, because he was on the phone with Cito and he couldn't hear her, obviously. So that part I refute. All right, let's continue. Damn it, Bart.
It's really hard to hear. Use your own ears. See if you hear what she transcribed here. Again, at the very end, allegedly, a strong allegedly here. Allegedly. You hear, damn it, Bart. But Bart was supposed to be out of town and not there. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if this is a break in the case, but Attorney Ben Crump, please listen to this audio. Let us know what you think, guys. But this does not sound good at all. I love you guys.
Yeah, this does not sound good at all. Yeah, because it's not. It's not. Even Nancy saying it's not. If Nancy saying it's not, Nancy ain't gonna play. And I'm on Nancy's side. It's whatever Nancy say. Let me cut it out.
Back to the original sound from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. With me now is Todd.
So this audio is from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Legitimate government source. Once
Todd
again.
Shipley, digital expert. Todd, listen to this.
That's okay. I think
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankle.
See, I don't agree with that part. He ain't say wake the fuck up. I don't know if he said wake the fuck up, but I thought that was why potentially saying, hey, shut the fuck up while I'm on the phone. Potentially. I don't know.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles. Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
What'd you
How
say?
far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Joining us tonight, Todd Shipley,
We're going
digital
down now.
cyber
I don't
crime
know.
expert,
Bro.
former Detective Sergeant Reno, 25 years in law enforcement, and author of Surviving a Cyber Attack, and author of Israel.
I shameless plug.
It doesn't
We
sound like it's a
appreciate you.
complete video to the government.
If this is real.
It was supposedly originally gotten from the government agency that supplied it. It doesn't sound like it's a complete video to me to begin with, because there should be more conversation. So where's the rest of the video would be or the audio. Then we can start to begin to forensically look at the audio to try to figure out and pull out the voices in the background. Because the question is, what are the people saying in the background? And what exactly are they doing? What sounds are in the background? Are they actually at the place that they say they are, based on noise in the background and other things that are happening? So, I mean, we can look at a lot of those other things within the audio itself to try to identify what's there and what these people are saying. Pull out those individual quotes and try to isolate them based on what they're saying and slow it down, speed it up, that kind of thing, and pull out the background noise so that there's nothing else, so we can just isolate those things. There's several things that can be done with this.
Todd Shipley, if you had this audio, what would you do digitally to clean it up, enhance it, and isolate it?
Well, there's, as I said, there's some of the things that we can do is we can isolate the different tones, the different signal pieces that are coming through there in the audio. We can take that and isolate the individual people that are in there and try to identify who they are. And that's done digitally. We can actually just isolate the different streams that are there and pull out those different audio pieces.
To all the members of the panel, I want you to listen carefully to this without reading the transcription. One more time.
It was definitely a girl who said, oh my God. Just throwing that out there. That's a fact. Everything else it can be debatable, but she definitely said, oh my God.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
Todd Shipley, the words, a man saying, "Wake the F up." I can discern that without reading it on the transcript. Where you hear someone say, "OMG," I can make that out. I can make out what I think is "don't die." They're screaming. What can you make out of this? Because if this is real, this changes the course of the investigation, Todd Shipley.
Well, it definitely does, and those are the things that we want to focus on. So we would look at adjusting the gain, taking out the static noise. We can understand what's being seen. The two people speaking on the phone are what we want to remove. We want to get to those other conversations in the background and try to isolate those by reducing the static that's there and adjusting the gain higher so we can understand what's being said better.
I don't quite get it to.
But this is a former detective that Nancy is talking to, by the way, just so y'all know that.
Elliot Connie, psychotherapist and author. A young man was face down on the beach getting beaten by a group. Listen to this, and we have to try and discern the truth.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I share your confusion. Like, people want to believe that this was an accidental drowning to the point where anybody asking any questions is experiencing massive amounts of hate online, including Nolan's mother and family and father. And I think it's really important to ask these questions. To the point of the audio that we've been watching, there actually is a version of this that a sound engineer has done exactly what Todd was just talking about, removing the foreground noise and enhancing the background noise. And you can clearly hear them saying things like, "Wake the F up, Nolan." And the very one thing that you can clearly hear in all of these versions is them screaming Nolan, which, to your point, would turn this investigation in a very different direction just by knowing that Nolan was on that boat.
Facts. Because they said that if anything is not debatable, you at least heard Nolan's name one time. And if you heard Nolan's name one time, I mean, Nolan was on that goddamn boat. So we can forget about the pool party stuff. Now that's what happened on the boat. Point out the obvious. But let's continue.
And I think it's important that we ask these questions. I'm so glad that you are on top of this, because we need people like you with your platform that don't look like people like me advocating for truth, because people have such a motivation to protect these kids. And I don't fully understand it when the motivation should be pursuing justice and truth.
Speaking of attacks on Nolan's mother, listen.
The only question that we have is what happened to our son. That is the only question. We have consistently been degraded by the public. There's been questions about our parenting, our GoFundMe, this, that, and other. I've been called a racist. I am a healthcare provider. and I take my job very seriously. I love everyone.
Not only is Nolan's family getting death threats, reportedly, but so are the so-called friends that were on the boat.
Well, I mean, with everything going on social media right now, with people saying the crazy things that they're saying, I would never want to take the attention off of Nolan and his family. They don't deserve.
You did that by doing a podcast already, idiot. So you did take attention away from Nolan Wells and her family. And just side note right here, dog, this is fucking disgusting, bro. Regardless of anything, whether you think the kids had something involved or the kids did anything, regardless, a mother lost her son. It was a life that was lost. And for people to be coming at her mom, Nolan's mom, and saying, I would not recommend her. Unfortunately, looking for another medical divider. Christine has my best interest. She doesn't have my best interest at heart. I wouldn't trust her. What? Y'all leaving her bad reviews? Because she just looking for answers for her son? Are you serious? Y'all got the nerve. She grieving. Ben Crump released a statement about this real quick. I just wanted to show it. I know this is a sidebar, side note. But are y'all serious? This is what people are doing. She should not be subjected to reported attacks and seeking answers while she's just only seeking answers about her son. They coming at her professional reputation because she's just seeking answers for her son. I don't hate anyone that much to recommend. This is insane, bro. Welcome to America. Shit's sad, dog.
Of that.
Let's get back to the story.
For own personal reasons, I mean, I've gotten thousands of death threats. My family's got thousands of death threats. I couldn't bring myself to go because, I got to put my own safety first. And even if that means, missing my friend's funeral, I mean, it's horrible. And I wish I could have been there, but that's what's been going on,
That is from the Officer Tatum show. Not only that, apparently law enforcement is getting threatened.
Our community is grieving the tremendous loss of Nolan Wells, who is loved and treasured by everyone. Nolan's family deserves answers, and our community deserves answers. Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that.
What she just said?
Non-criminal car wrecks are presented to your. Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. We have handled death investigations in this manner my entire career. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth that we handle all death investigations. I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not taking time for time's sake. We are taking the time required to complete the work this investigation demands. Since Nolan was reported missing, local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies have worked around the clock investigating what happened to him.
Y'all should be.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here.
Y'all should be. Nancy up here, shameless plug. Hey, that's the one thing that she gonna do. She gonna plug you. You come on the channel, she gonna plug you. She gonna even go ahead and plug herself.
Context of all other evidence. The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve.
That is the elected district attorney in that jurisdiction. Apparently, everyone is getting threatened and attacked. That's not a very good climate in which to do your job, is it, Dr. Thomas Coyne, the chief medical examiner out of Tallahassee, District 8, toxicologist, pathologist, and neuropathologist, because everybody's taking heat. They're probably afraid to even walk to their car.
It does sound like a tinderbox out there. Yeah, no, I would. I certainly wouldn't want to be involved in that investigation myself as well. So you can get pretty.
As long as
Dr.
everybody's getting
Coyne,
pregnant.
sadly, you're getting dragged
Even though
into it
nobody should.
right now. Dr. Coyne, I need to talk to you about the body. And I'm going to circle back, everybody, to the Katie, the mystery Katie girl on Horn Island. Her sister spoke out on her behalf. Okay. And there's a problem with that, too. There is a discrepancy with that. But before I get to that, Dr. Thomas Coyne, thank you for being with us tonight. And yes, repeat, we're dragging you into it. Dr. Coyne, I understand why Nolan Wells's lungs were removed from his body and that the second examiner did not have them. He cannot complete his independent autopsy because he can't look at the lungs. I'm sure the doctor is looking at the lungs in Mississippi because they think he drowned. But why the throat? Why has the initial medical examiner kept the throat?
Well, I'll say anytime that you investigate a drowning, it's considered to be a diagnosis of exclusion, right? So you have to figure out why a person went into the water in the first place and why they couldn't get out. And let's assume, in this case, there was trauma that happened to a person or something that prevented him from getting out of the water. Well, if there was, let's say, a battery or a fight that occurred perhaps with injury to him and to his person, if a person, let's say, was maybe strangled or there was injury to the neck, if a person's been in the body of water for several days, especially floating face down, there's probably going to...
It wasn't for several days. It wasn't for several days, sir. It was only 2 days. But
be some considerable decomposition. And one of the ways that we determine if there's trauma to the neck or if there has been, like, say, strangulation, is if there are hemorrhage in the neck muscles surrounding the airway, and if there's fractures to the cartilage and bones that are within the neck. But if there's some considerable decomposition, the blood that's within the major neck vessels can begin to leak out into the surrounding muscles and make it very difficult for you to differentiate actual hemorrhage from artifact of decomposition. So what they may be doing is preserving the neck itself to digest away all of those tissues, to really examine the bones, the highway bone, and the tracheal cartilage to get a better idea of whether or not there's any trauma or fracturing to those structures. That's the only thing I can think of that why you would want to keep those particular structures. Understand that there's no significant or no specific finding at autopsy that allows you to diagnose drowning, even the lungs. So the lungs may have evidence of fresh water or salt water, looking under the microscope, but you can't tell whether that was active or passive movement of water into the lungs, if this is a body that was thrown into the water after death or a person who actively drowned. And so I don't know why they're saving the lungs, but the neck structures, I can make the argument that they're trying to get a better look at the neck cartilage as well as the bone, the highway bone in the neck.
So, Dr. Coyne, that was a lot. But two things jump out at me. Number one, are you telling me that the neck, Nolan Wells's neck, may have been retained by the initial medical examiner because the medical examiner cannot tell the difference in a bruise or damage in life, such as a fight, a strangulation, can't tell that from blood diffusion post-mortem during decomp?
Yes, there's that's one of the possible reasons. Your neck muscles have a lot of what's called myoglobin, red proteins that are present within the tissue. You have the blood that's within the jugular and carotid arteries that are along those movement of blood tissue, perhaps at the...
But just as a yes, no, if I can even form the question accurately, are you telling me the medical examiner, the initial medical examiner, may have kept Nolan's throat because he can't tell the difference in an attack on the neck versus decomp, blood dispersion during decomp?
If there was significant decomposition, that may be one of the reasons. I've never.
All right. So I'm
returned
taking
neck
that.
infection.
Yes, that could be it.
So yes, absolutely. I can't think of any other reason. You know, in drowning, sometimes you have less than 10% of drownings. There's the hypothetical dry drowning where a person can have a spasm of the neck muscles once you swallow water. But there's no physical finding that you could look at autopsy that would prove that. So I can't imagine they would save the neck for that reason. The only reason I can think of is that they're looking at the underlying structures a little more clearly.
So I don't think I need my medical degree, and I don't think I have to be the chief medical examiner in District 8 there in the state of Florida to figure out the first medical examiner kept his throat for a reason. What is the reason? Why the throat? Why not the foot? Why not the hand? Why the throat? There's something about the throat that the
Nancy,
medical examiner is concerned about. You just heard Coyne explain it very clinically and in depth. I want to ask you something else. Can I see Dr. Coyne, please? Dr. Coyne, we were just showing you autopsy results, and it's from the second medical exam, the second doctor. That's it. Thank you, control room. On the back of Nolan's neck is deep subcutaneous reddening of the tissue. I've had one doctor who I respect highly tell me that that was pooling of the blood post-mortem. Well, I don't buy that because it wasn't pooled anywhere else on his body, on his back. So why there? It's not pooling. I don't believe that. Then somebody else said, oh, that happened because his head was on the blot at autopsy. Well, the blot at autopsy is usually 4x13. That is 8x12. Plus, that doesn't make sense. You don't bruise post-mortem. So there would not be markings on his body from the autopsy. You can't bruise after you're dead. Your blood's not pumping.
No, that's not correct. It's not bruising. It's just red discoloration. If it was actual hemorrhage or hemorrhage in the tissue, which is a bruise, then they would have called it hemorrhage in the tissue. They're calling it red discoloration. When a body, especially a decomposing body, is on its back, it has to get transported from wherever the body is recovered to the autopsy facility. It remains in the autopsy facility until the autopsy is performed. Then the head is cut open to reflect the scalp back. So first of all, if there was significant hemorrhage there, the first autopsy should have noted that. I don't know what their findings are, but understand that virtue, the process of reflecting the scalp to open the head and then sending the body off to do that second autopsy can also contribute to discoloration just from drying artifact. But when a body lays on its back, especially a body, if there's significant post-mortem interval, yeah, you can certainly have red discoloration just from leakage of both skeletal muscle proteins as well as blood from all the.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I gotta be done with my guy. I'm sorry.
Like the 5 blind guys feeling different parts of the elephant, trying to figure out what is it. Okay, we can't sign off until we address the Katie issue. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Alexis Tereshchuk, Crime Stories investigative reporter, but the friends on the boat say Nolan wanted to stay behind because of a girl he just met named Katie. Katie has been found, and she says no. He said he was leaving with his friends.
100%.
Do I have that much right?
100%.
Okay.
You have that exactly
Let's
right.
take a look at what Katie's sister says. Put it up on the screen, please. Katie had a conversation, assumed Nolan was getting ready to get on the boat that he came out in. Katie made it home. She was on another boat, different people.
Witness.
Blah, 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 blah. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat would not have left him. Dave Mack, Crime Stories. What is Katie stating through her sister?
She is saying that Nolan did not stay with her on Horn Island, that she thought he was going back with the same people he came with. And by the way, got to add this, Nancy, Katie McCormick has been working with investigators, has been fully cooperative with them, the Wells family, and she says flat out that he did not stay with her. He went back.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Net
Shameless plug, aka Nancy. We appreciate you.
6-3 or death. We remember American hero Corporal.
All right. Anyway, so essentially, Katie, you might have to come into the front of the congregation. All right, because if we being honest, we heard what you said, Katie. You said that, hey, he went with them. He went with them. So if he went with them, we must figure out. We must figure out what happened. We must figure out what happened with Katie. Katie's sister released a statement. You just saw it. That's interesting. Very interesting. Now let's get back to Don Lemon in this interview. See what they had to talk about and see what they had to discuss. Stand on Nolan Wells' case for another 5 minutes, and then we'll move on.
What I would say is, like, if someone actually did say the name Nolan on the boat, if that is true, that goes against every narrative that Warren and any of the other friends have said, because why would they be talking about Nolan? He said that once they left the island, they weren't thinking about Nolan anymore because they were dealing with the crisis of the boat. So that would be weird if that actually, if that what we're hearing is someone saying Nolan. And the part about the, is he dead, or is, I think it's just a theory, don't know because it's not on the boat, but what we're hearing is them saying, is it dead? Meaning the pump or the motor, because they couldn't get the motor started for a while. And you heard him describing how the water was coming over. That could be a reference.
I don't know if it was the motor or they couldn't get the bilge pump.
The pump, yeah.
Right. But they also couldn't, there was a part where they couldn't start the motors because there was so much, and that's why they needed, that's why they were calling the tow company, because they couldn't start the motors. They were just there taking on water.
Okay. Charles, this is another story. And when you said that would be completely antithetical to anything that you have heard, this is also a TMZ story. Evidence shows he was on island when friend's boat left. And that's the exclusive. Talk to us about this exclusive, Charles, please.
So that's what we were, what we were just referring to, the fact that we were told by multiple sources, not connected to law enforcement, who said, well, from what we've heard, the police have spoken to people who put him there after 4:30. And in fact, I think in one of the podcasts with Officer Tatum, Warren says
we don't really mention
he
his
had
name
heard
on the show, but go on.
Yeah, I get your point. Warren says he'd heard that there were people who saw Nolan on the island at 6 o'clock. I don't know about the specific of 6 o'clock, but when we were checking what people around town were telling us, and again, someone directly connected to the investigation said to us that that is correct, that we have spoken to people and also seen evidence of Nolan being on the island after 4:30. We did not get the specific of 6 o'clock that Warren mentioned in that interview.
All right, Charles.
Well,
what you
and
think?
Charles,
I know.
But Charles, I'm sure Charles has to run. He's got to do some other shit.
Anyway, I want to get to this. I want to show y'all this real quick. I want to show y'all this. Let's think about all the evidence we have so far. Let's really look at it before we get up out of here, or at least stop talking about Nolan Wells. Think about this. Oh, wrong one. Jesus Christ.
Have to figure out, were they sinking or not? Let's look at the evidence that we have. First, we have the evidence that they said they were towed and they were not towed because Cito said that the call was canceled. And then Cito said that it was canceled by the grandpa, okay? Then we have the fact that when Wyatt was on the phone with the operator, he could not not tell the operator how far the water was coming up, and he said that they were going down in 31 foot of water. Okay. We had already calculated the time it took for a boat to sink with a broken bilge pump, which took 2 to 15 minutes. And the call itself was 10 minutes long. So there's that. Then they drove around to Fort Bayou and everywhere else while they were sinking. And we heard in the beginning of the call that they were looking for a cover-up. So all of that evidence would suggest that the sinking story was a complete scam and they were not sinking at all whatsoever. Now we have to figure out.
So if the sinking story was a complete scam, why? But you know where the answers lie? Y'all know where the answers lie? In that goddamn podcast. In Tatum's podcast.
Now the truth lies in Officer Tatum's podcast. Them kids were all describing the fight. Now I'm brain dead over this. I have not cleaned, I have not done nothing. I have put my entire life on hold to solve this, okay? Y'all need to go and do y'all's homework and find the clips. They're describing the fight. That fight, Nolan was in that fight. Now the answers are right there. I've done enough. I can't go sit there and listen to all that. Y'all need to go do that now. Do y'all's fucking homeworks. I'm busy today. I'm telling y'all.
But the one thing that she said is right. The answer lies within the podcast. The answers to this case lies within the podcast, dog. And that's a fact. Like, man, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. All right. Last video about Nolan Wells before we move on, because we've been talking about it for about an hour 30. We got to move on. I'm sorry, y'all. So if you're here for Nolan Wells, last video.
Taking on
I think
a life of its own.
This is reminding me very much of the Brian Kohberger case, where you had a lot of theories, you had a lot of anger because law enforcement was not being forthcoming. You had a lot of people saying, well, law enforcement is screwing up this case. I can't believe that they're not going to be able to find the killer. But they were just doing their due diligence, and they were doing their investigation without sharing every step of the way. And what happens in the meantime is the public gets angry. The public starts coming up with their own theories. The public starts listening to audio and maybe hearing things that aren't there, or maybe they are there. But all of that's going to happen. And I'd imagine if the sheriff's department is just going, we're not going to respond to any of it. Let's just do our investigation and make sure that, we are buttoned up and that we're not screwing anything up here. You hope that's what's happening. But again, because it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger until the autopsy, either the autopsy results come back or you have more people coming forward and speaking publicly. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going to guess here that law enforcement is speaking to people who are on the island, but they're also saying to them, please don't go out and do interviews because it's only going to make our job harder.
And they're out doing interviews.
Maybe, because I can't believe that nobody saw anything. And for some reason, they're not coming forward and talking about it.
It was July 4th weekend. It was, in that aforementioned interview you talked about, his friends, both of them said there were, in their estimate, thousands of people there. So somebody saw something.
Yeah.
Somebody saw something. And look, how long, you guys were on the.
Thousands of people there. And nobody saw nothing? I mean, like nothing? Nothing at all? Like, kind of blows my mind, man. Blows my mind just a little bit that nobody saw nothing. But there you have it. All right. A lot of questions need to be answered. A lot of things that we don't have the answers to. And at the end of the day, with the audio, with this, with that, dog, it comes down to the evidence. What can they prove in court? What can they prove in court? So interesting. We're going to continue to follow the case, y'all. We're going to continue to dive into it. We're going to continue to talk about it per usual. And hopefully we eventually get justice for Nolan Wells. Hopefully we do. And then, actually, should I do that? Nah, I ain't gonna do that. All right. Last thing. Actually, do I even want to do that? Nah, I don't. All right. Well, in other news, one of our favorite topics, one of our favorite people to talk about over here, SO to Shedeur Sanders. That boy out here balling. SO to the Cleveland Browns. Them boys out here doing their thing. SO to him. Nolan Wells, I promise you, we're going to get justice for you, my guy, and we will continue to cover it here. Now, Shedeur Sanders. Come on to the front of the congregation, my guy. Because it's being reported that some people are switching their tune. Some people are saying if Shedeur Sanders doesn't start, if he doesn't play, it's this, it's that. It's crazy. It was a few of these guys saying Shedeur Sanders was trash, saying that he ain't good, saying that he this is that. But now, seems like we got some people trying to come along and be on the side of Shedeur Sanders. Well, Dan Lorowski, can you come on down to the front of the congregation? Because we got to talk.
Starting anybody but Shedeur Sanders is dumb. Deshaun Watson, I understand, is there. He's played 19 games in 6 years.
Right?
In that span, it's also shoulder surgery on his throwing arm and Achilles surgery. Figure out what you have, 2 of them with Shedeur Sanders. You have 2 first-round picks next year. At some point, you've got to look at that young player, see if he's even the potential of being your future, because what are you going to do? Deshaun, and he plays well, and then you're going to pay him again? Shedeur Sanders should be the starting quarterback in Cleveland.
Tim Hasselbeck, do you agree with that?
I don't agree with it. Look, Deshaun Watson did what Dan said.
He's been a hater his whole life. We know what you said, Tim. I don't know why you don't like Shedeur, my guy. Is it because he a better quarterback than you? Is it because he had better college numbers than you? What is it? But you've been a hey, should I pull up the receipts with this guy? But anyway, Dan say he all in on 2 now. People switching sides. My goodness. Oh my goodness.
Said about
this guy. As long as you stand on the wrong side, it's okay. We appreciate you standing. You stay over there, Tim Hasselbeck. Your brother was better than you, by the way. Of course.
His history is right, but he's not even 31 years old. And this is a guy that threw for over 4,800 yards in a season, threw 33 touchdowns and 7 picks that year. Like, if you can get good quarterback play, you need to get it. Otherwise, you're starting Shedeur Sanders. You're presumably drafting a quarterback next year, to take over. So basically, Todd Monken is saying, look, I'm just going to get somebody else ready for the next head coach.
Monken. You sound like an idiot. Get him off the screen.
Cleveland Browns. I think if you can get good quarterback play, you get it. So it might be Shedeur, but if it's Deshaun Watson, and it very may well be, then I think you have to play him. Otherwise, you're just getting the quarterback of the future ready for someone else.
It's 2 interesting perspectives. Dan, what do we know about that?
It's, Deshaun Watson early on in the offseason looked like the favorite, but my understanding is Shedeur had a really good finish to the offseason program, and so it goes into training camp as a competition. They want to see more from both guys. Tim's point is correct. Todd Monken has waited a long time to be a head coach. He's not going to want to say, we're going to throw in the towel this year and get the quarterback next year. If Deshaun Watson gives him the best chance to win games, he's probably going to play him. But to Dan O's point, that's not the right call for the future of the franchise.
Correct.
What would Deshaun Watson have to do to convince the Browns to re-sign him after this year?
Take him to the Super Bowl. because they're not re-signing him. And this brings up one of my favorite facts and one of my favorite things that we'd like to discuss. What is the point of playing Deshaun Watson? Yes, we understand you owe him $40 million, but at this point you done paid him over 200-some million. And yes, he is owed another $40 million to end off that contract, but let him just sit his butt on the bench. You're trying to see what you have in this young talent, in this young core. And you're trying to see if you have a young quarterback who can lead this young core. You got him in a 5th round. He's house money that you're playing with. You are literally playing with house money, because if Shedeur Sanders ends up being good, and you got him for a 5th round pick on a rookie contract, and your young gunners that you just drafted last year and this year can come along with the party, it's going to get scary. So yes, Deshaun Watson, should you play him? I don't know. Potentially. But what's the point? Are you going to resign him? What is the only reason that you will resign him after he's been with y'all for damn near 5 seasons? And he's only played 19 games, basically one NFL season. The other 4 years he's been injured. Basically. Only 19 games. It's damn near 17, 18 game season. 19 games. He's on his last year's contract. What else do you need to see? It's a quarterback competition for a reason, yes. But if it's close, you give it to the young guy. You give it to the young guy. I'm just saying. But y'all make y'all points. Y'all let me know how you feel, what you think. But I don't know. We'll let him finish.
Like inconceivable, 17-0 in the Super Bowl, and then we can talk about it. So they need to find out what they have in Shedeur Sanders. I think at some point this season they will. But yeah, you have a new coach there who's going to want to win games. If Deshaun Watson is healthy and outplaying Shedeur in training camp, that's the way they're going to go.
Cleveland doesn't matter right now in the NFL, and they haven't for years. They're building new stadium. When you build new stadiums, unless you have a young quarterback, it doesn't matter how good your football team is. Playing Deshaun does nothing for your future. Literally nothing.
100%
It's only
agree.
about maybe in November.
But if you're the new head coach,
I get that world.
Yeah.
I get that world. But if the Cleveland Browns make the quarterback decision strictly on Todd Monken as the head coach, and this is his first chance doing it in that window, that's a mistake.
Okay, let's move on from that one. I like it. I like that topic, and I think it'll be an interesting one to.
So now, with that being said, I already told y'all who I got my money on. But I ain't gonna lie. Deshaun Watson. I want the Bears to draft you. Once upon a time, the Bears, we fucking drafted Michael fucking Trubisky. What the fuck? Every time I think about that shit, excuse my language. I don't even curse like that. I'm sorry. Lord, forgive me. Chat, forgive me. But we drafted Mitchell fucking Trubisky. I cursed again. We drafted Mitchell. I can't even say his name without cursing. Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. To this day, I'm still pissed.
I'm in a good ass space. I'm in a great place. It's year 5, man. So it's that time. You know what I'm saying? Shit, just like everybody else, I've been waiting too. Things got to line up right. And I feel like this the year that it all come together.
See, Deshaun, I'm trying to listen to you, but you're going to get me copyrighted, bruh. So this is Deshaun letting us see his little bit of his training, his off season, what he been up to. He ain't talking no more, so I'll just talk over it. Talking about his journey, everything he's been through. He said, I've been recording too. Let me go ahead and release the footage. The battle back, the climb back, getting married, going through all the allegations, the stress, the booze, the laughter. Everybody saying, hey, get him out of there. Yeah. Deshaun, I love it. I love it. The climb back. Because if I'm being you can sit back and you don't even got to play no more. You can be done. But you are a Pro Bowl in the league. You are damn near one of the boys. One of them. One of them.
Back in the days, getting the body, getting the movement right, make sure that I'm at my peak, going into training camp, getting ready for the season. So, man, body, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything in the right space. And I'm constantly just building every day. So, locked in, I'm ready. I'm ready for sure.
He said he focused, he locked in every day. Every day. But can he stay healthy through training camp? Can he stay healthy into the first regular season game? Can he compete with the young gunner who's also gunning for that number 1 QB spot in Shedeur Sanders? It's going to be a hell of a competition. And it's underway. We will continue to cover it. What was today? I think training camp day 3, 4. The vets are about to return here soon. Hey. Deshaun out here saying he ready for it. He want all the smoke. Shedeur out here saying he here for it. He want all the smoke. Who you got your money on? Who you got your money on? Jared Verse out there saying, hey, I got something to prove this season. Jared Verse say, hey, y'all traded Myles Garrett for me? LA, you traded me? You didn't have that much faith in me that I will become something of Myles Garrett caliber? But nah, I ain't gonna lie. If you can get Myles Garrett, you can go get Myles Garrett. So Jared Verse ain't nothing personal, but you got a chip on your shoulder, big dog, because they traded you. They ain't want you. They got rid of you. They said they can win a chip without you. Casey Concepcion, first round pick. They say you can't catch a cold. They say you dropping everything. You got something to prove. First rounder. 24th, was it 24th pick? Yeah, 24th pick. What you got to prove, my guy? Got a lot to prove. Prove that you was worth that first round pick, or you should have got drafted earlier. Shedeur Sanders. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Locked in. Every day. We're not here to play. This is not for play. This is not for fun. We here for that number 1 QB spot. So every day a competition. Every day I got to grind. Every day I got to get it. Every day I got to put in the work. It's time. It's time. Deshaun Watson. They doubted you. They booed you as you was getting carted off after you tore your Achilles. They said he should be done in Cleveland. Get him out of there. He should have been traded a long time ago. Coming off of 2 Achilles tears and a shoulder surgery. Got a lot to prove, man. A lot of doubters out there. A lot of naysayers. It's on you. How you going to make the comeback? Can you complete it? They say you've been looking good. Y'all been neck and neck. Can you hold off the young gunner and Shedeur Sanders? Can you prove yourself right that you still got it? Can you prove yourself right? You tell me. Who y'all got y'all money on? Is it going to be Deshaun Watson? Or is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? Y'all know which side I'm standing. That's so to him. But now let's talk about who has the most interesting QB battle that's going on right now.
All teams report to training camp this week, and the focus will no doubt be on position battles, especially with the quarterbacks. In Minnesota, you've got Kyler Murray versus J.J. McCarthy. And
thank you for taking that away. J.J. McCarthy. Kyler Murray. The Vikings. in the same division as my Chicago Bears, who had a jump out season last year. Who will win Minnesota's starting quarterback job? Is it going to be J.J. McCarthy or Kyler Murray? J.J. McCarthy. You've been getting doubted, my friend. They saying, hey, you ain't got it in you. But let's continue. Let's hear what he got to say.
Cleveland, you've got Deshaun Watson versus Shedeur Sanders. And in Atlanta, you've got Tua versus Michael Penix Jr. 3 battles between veteran cast-offs against rookie contract signal callers. The question is, which battle is the most intriguing, and can one of these QBs help their team compete for a division title?
What if I told you I don't think any of the 3 are battles? What if I told you I think Watson's going to be the starter in Cleveland?
Which is ridiculous.
Kyler's going to be the starter in Minnesota.
Understandable.
And because of injury, Tua's going to be the starter in Atlanta. What if I don't? What if I?
Interesting take, besides the Cleveland one. Because Kyler Murray, I believe that he will be the starting quarterback in Minnesota as well. Kyler Murray versus J.J. McCarthy. Yeah. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to take it. Somebody got to prove themselves right. Second quarterback battle to watch in the league. I think one of the most relevant ones. Because Minnesota 2 years ago, they were what, a 13, 14 win team with Sam Darnold. Then they gave Sam Darnold up and said, nope, we don't need you. Had J.J. McCarthy last year, ended up damn near bottom feeders of the NFC North, with my Chicago Bears being up there. And you know what they did, them in Green Bay. But J.J., the Illinois native, what you going to do, big dog? They brought Kyler Murray in for a reason. J.J. McCarthy, they said that you ain't like that, big dog. They said that basically you, my friend, said that you trash, bro. They said we need somebody else to lead us to the promised land, because with Sam Darnold, we damn near made the playoffs, and we could have went to the chip. Sam Darnold left our squad, and then he went to go get a chip with Seattle. JJ, last year you played like trash. That's why we had to bring in Kyler Murray. So what you going to do, JJ, with your back against the wall? Kyler Murray, you were shipped off, rolled off. The Cardinals said, we'll rather have Jacoby Brissett. We'll rather just go ahead, shoot for our quarterback in the draft, and just be bad this upcoming season. Former number 1 pick, Kyler Murray. What you going to do now, big dog? Because we watching. The young pup and J.J. McCarthy, 3-year vet. You going to let him and keep the rock? Lead the team? You came here for a reason, Kyler. You said that you could take him. You said that at the end of the day, he ain't even like that. You handpicked coming to the Vikings because you was a free agent. You was released. The Cardinals said, we don't want him. We got Jacoby. So, Kyler, yeah, it's on you, big dog. You got to make something shake, baby. Because if not, shit, this might be your last stop. And I'm saying that respectfully and in all honesty. If you can't beat out J.J. McCarthy, my guy, might as well hang the cleats up. Might as well hang them up. Now we got Tua Tagovailoa. Him. And that boy Michael Penix Jr. battling. Battling it out. It's going to get interesting. It's going to definitely be interesting. But with these two quarterbacks, and wait, hold on, going back to Minnesota and Kyler. Hold on, my bad. I got my money on Kyler Murray. J.J. McCarthy, I seen you play last year. You're trash. Not even gonna lie to you. Not even gonna lie to you, big dog. Not even going to lie to you. JJ. It's a wrap for you, big dog. Kyler. Yeah, my money on you, baby. Now let's officially move on. Tua Tagovailoa. Come on down to the front of the podium. Come on down. Michael Penix Jr. You injured right now, big dog. Are you healthy enough to compete for the starting quarterback position? Michael Penix Jr., you were drafted number 8 2 years ago. 8th overall, first round. A lot of expectations. You had Kirk Cousins scratching his head like, how they going to give me $100 million, but then they going to sign this young pup to the squad. Draft them in the first round after they just gave me 2 years, 100 M's. You got Kirk Cousins up out of there. But in walks Tua Tagovailoa. Michael Penix Jr. I got my money on Tua. I ain't never liked you coming out of college. You've been injured since you left college. I ain't going to lie to you, big dog. I ain't going to lie to you, Michael Penix Jr. You got a lot to do, my guy. A lot to do. Because I don't believe in you. Tua, I really don't believe in you either. I really don't even believe in Kyler Murray either. Like, if out of all these quarterback competitions, out of all these QBs, I'm a Shedeur Sanders guy. He's better than all of you. But if we're talking about, Atlanta Falcons and which quarterback I'm choosing, I'd rather take Tua. Tua had a couple good years in Miami with Tyreek Hill. That boy Waddle, putting up numbers. You had a nice run in Miami. But then, Tua, you started snitching. Started calling people out, saying what they wasn't doing. He ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. Snitching on your own locker room and the players in it. Telling the media what's going on in your locker room. That's not right, Tua. That's not right at all, Tua. But you know something? You got a fresh start. What you going to do with it? You're lucky Michael Penix injured, because I think if he wasn't injured, he'll potentially make it interesting. But you've been taking first-team reps. Taking all the first-team reps, honestly. So you should be in good shape. You should be able to really get in your bag. And excuse me if y'all can hear my my goddamn sensor going crazy right now. I think my battery low, so I got to go and change that. The sensor is really bugging out. So if you hear front door closed, front door, ain't nobody else here. I'm in the studio by myself, but it is what it is. Anyway, so if you hear that, my bad. But going back to you, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua. Bruh. First start, dog. Like I said. What you gonna do with it? Ain't no snitching in Atlanta. Even though there's some snitches out there, damn, I shouldn't even said that, boy. There's already some snitches out there. You gonna fit right into it. You actually, now that I think about it, out in Atlanta, you gonna fit right into it. Let me cut it out quick. I digress. But I got my money on Tua. This quarterback competition is not really competition because Tua injured. I mean, not Tua injured. Michael Penix really kind of injured, and Tua been taking all the first-team reps. But we're going to see how training camp shapes up. Maybe Michael Penix Jr. is a little healthier, so that might vote well for him. But out of all these quarterback battles, the most interesting one, obviously, is Cleveland and Shedeur Sanders versus Deshaun Watson. The second most interesting one is right here in Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy. And then this is the quarterback battle that we have to talk about because it is a quarterback battle, but it's a quarterback battle that I can care less about, if I'm being honest with you. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to really go unplug that. But regardless, though, this is very interesting, man. This is very interesting. It is. It is. Because with all these quarterback competitions, it's only one I'm tuned in all the way for. But I'm gonna continue to keep y'all updated for these teams specifically. Now, with that being said, sleeper teams in the NFL. Let's go through them. All right, let's go through them. I got a few of them. First team that needs to come on down for the sleeper team in the NFL, a team that came along and damn near almost made the playoffs last year. A team that was actually looking pretty good last year. A team that I believe is prime to really make a splash this year. The Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young in this season, that boy, it's a make or break season for him. Bryce Young have a good season this year, that boy getting paid. Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, chat. All right, I'm going to play this one, the rest of this video over here on Twitter while I go unplug this because it's really annoying. So give me 2 seconds, y'all. Give me 2 seconds.
Because of injury, we're giving two of the benefit of the
healthier of the two.
A sentence that's never been said.
I mean, doesn't it feel like the assumed QB battles, all the ones you just brought up, which are right to talk about, obviously, may not amount to be QB battles?
Deshaun versus Shedeur should be a battle.
That's different. Whether you agree with it or not are different things.
But
I agree with you.
The other two, to your point, because of injury and because of performance, I don't think those two should necessarily be a battle. Shedeur should have a legitimate shot to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland. I don't care what Deshaun Watson is getting paid.
Let me ask you a follow-up. Do you think he does?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me that the guy that was drafted in the 5th round has a better chance to be the starter than two guys that were taken with top 10 picks?
Yeah.
I agree.
Wait, two guys that were taken?
J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr.
I hope I don't get copyrighted for that little jingle in the background.
Because of injury and performance,
yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant on Cleveland specifically. I was confused. Yeah, I mean, it's
I
a weird thing.
I'm assuming in Minnesota it's a wrap. They can make it a performative battle all they want. You bring in Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray is going to be the guy. Same thing with Atlanta. You bring in Tua because the future, or at least the present future, of Michael Penix Jr. with the injuries is up in the air, and you need somebody there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the veteran quarterback, it's all about being able to play competent quarterback, steady presence. The young quarterbacks represent the greater upside. Any different machination or what you can imagine when it comes to who ends up being the starting quarterbacks for those teams? Can any of those teams with any of those quarterbacks contend for a division title?
Perhaps Minnesota.
Cleveland. You got it wrong. Cleveland can't compete. You know why? Y'all know why Cleveland can't compete? Because the Baltimore Ravens have a new head coach. The Steelers have a new head coach. The Cleveland Browns have a new head coach. And the only team in that division that doesn't have a new head coach is the Bengals. The Bengals are the only steady team. But the Bengals, they've been proven to not have a great defense. Even though, yeah, they get one of them boys over there on defense. But he's not. No. We'll see. I'll get into the Bengals here in a bit. But in this division in general, with the Bengals, they're the only team that hasn't had a head coach change. Every other team in this division with the Bengals, I mean, hey, if we being honest, this division damn near wide open. All right? Zach Taylor stayed as a head coach. They got Dexter Lawrence now as one of their defensive tackles. Can they make noise? Is it possible for the Cincinnati Bengals to do their thing? Potentially. But every other team, if we being honest, every other team in this division, they got an opportunity. The Baltimore Ravens, what happened with them last year? A lot. They were very up and down. Lamar Jackson was hurt most of the year. The Cleveland Browns, new head coach, young core, young talented core. Krishan Johnson went crazy last year. Carson Schwarzenegger, defensive rookie of the year. Couple first-round draft picks. Mason Graham, who played decently on the defensive side of the ball last year. Harold Fannin, tight end, went crazy last year for the Cleveland Browns. They got some young pieces. Don't sleep on the Browns. I could continue to go in depth, but y'all know how I go in depth with the Browns anyway, but But I believe the Browns can compete in this division, the Ravens, and the Steelers. The Steelers. Does Aaron Rodgers still fucking got it? He about old as hell. He 40 plus. Does Rodgers still have it? That's a serious question. Serious, debatable topic. So I believe she was wrong. This is the quarterbacks that can compete, that can really compete in the division, is goddamn who? Oh, crap. My bad, y'all. Is who? See, I didn't even curse, boy. Look at me. Pat myself on the goddamn back for that one. But if we really being honest, if we really talking about it, if we really having a discussion, it's the Browns. The Cleveland Browns can compete this year in their division. Minnesota, she said Minnesota, right? Yeah, well, let's bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. She said Minnesota. So if she says Minnesota, right?
The only one contend for a division title.
Perhaps Minnesota.
Minnesota can't compete. They ain't contending for no goddamn division title. We got the Lions in the what? The Bears in Green Bay. It's one of the most loaded divisions in the goddamn NFL, if we being honest. The Lions ain't going nowhere. The Bears, hey, they proved something last year, right? They proved something last year. That's a sleeper team we're going to talk about here in a bit. They're not even a sleepers because at the end of the day, they made the playoffs last year. They damn near had a nice little run in the playoffs, too. They beat Green Bay. Green Bay and Jordan Love, I'm not too high on Jordan Love, but they ain't going to go nowhere. Minnesota competing for a title? A division title? Fuck no. Kyler Murray is not like that. We're going to eat him up in this division. I promise you. Promise you. We'll see if he even make it out the season healthy. We're going to see J.J. McCarthy at some point in this division. Kyler Murray is not like that. But Kyler Murray, this is your one last opportunity to be an NFL quarterback. So I take it that you will take this season seriously. You will study a lot of film. Right. You will learn as much as you can. Right. And Minnesota brought you in for a reason. So that way you can be goddamn the starting quarterback. Why else would they bring you in? They clearly didn't believe in J.J. McCarthy. Because why draft a quarterback in the first round 2 years ago, then the next year bring in another quarterback? Because you don't believe in the current quarterback that you have. It's not rocket science. Let's continue.
Minnesota's the only one?
If Kyler Murray can be the electric Kyler Murray, healthy, consistent, explosive that we know him to be with that defense and those weapons and that coaching staff, they have a chance.
All teams.
I get it, but they don't. This division is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. It is. It is. But we shall see. We shall see. I digress. Sleeper team coming up. First squad that I'm looking at, Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young, he's on a prove-it year. This is the season that they see in Carolina whether they really have a legitimate starting quarterback. Last season, Bryce Young started to come on towards the end of the season, him and the Carolina Panthers. They even almost made a nice playoff run or got into the playoffs towards the end of the season. Bryce Young will be highly motivated going into the season. That boy Chuba, he's like that. McKellen, McMillan. I don't know how I just said this. I don't know how I just messed up his name that bad when I first said it. He's like that. Jalen Cocker, he's like that. They got a couple weapons over there on that wide receiver core. Tommy Tremble, he's all right. I don't know too much about him. But that defense and Derek Brown, that boy, oof. Actually, I take it back. They did just lose one of their linebackers earlier today. Damn, who just got hurt on the home? Actually, let me pull it back up. But the Carolina Panthers are one of my sleeper teams for this season. All right. It's unfortunate. Actually, is he out for the season? Oh, never mind. He's not out for the season. All right, I'm just talking. But the Carolina Panthers are one of my sleeper teams for the season. All right. It will be interesting to see how they compare and how they compete this season. Because, I mean, it's wide open for them. At the end of the day, and the Carolina Panthers in that division, I mean, they can compete. They can compete. You got the Falcons. You got the Saints, who people are expecting to take a nice leap this year with that boy Tyler Shuck. We shall see if he's really that good. But you also have the Buccaneers. So the Carolina Panthers, with Atlanta figuring out their quarterback situation, potentially being up and down, but they also have a couple nice pieces on that defense in Atlanta, and they also still have some weapons on offense. So they can compete. New Orleans Saints, can they potentially compete in this division? Maybe. With Tyler Shuck coming along and that defense still being somewhat good over there in New Orleans. And then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who also will look to compete this year because that boy Baker Mayfield, guess what? That boy wants his money. He wants a bag. He wants a bag. And with him wanting a bag, that boy going to be motivated to come out and compete. So it's a lot of motivated quarterbacks in this division. It's a lot of things that can happen within this division, and we shall see how the cookie crumbles and how things shape up. But the Carolina Panthers are my one of my sleeper teams for this season. Now, talking about the NFC, should we stay in the AFC South? Yeah, let's stay in the AFC South. All right, AFC South. Next sleeper team that I believe needs to come into the front of the congregation. I believe that they're not even really a sleeper team because last year they had like goddamn one of the best defenses in the goddamn league. And if that boy CJ Stroud don't throw 5 interceptions or however many it was, I think it was 4. If he don't throw 4 interceptions, if Kyler Murray doesn't throw 4, I mean, not Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud doesn't throw 4 interceptions in that game, CJ Stroud, y'all probably go to the Super Bowl and y'all potentially could have won with that defense. So I believe the Texans in the AFC South will have a big season this year because CJ Stroud, at the end of the day, you won it to your 3rd season. Your rookie season, you came out, you set the league on fire. Last year, yeah, up and down. This year, it's your money season. You have a great season this year, you will get paid M's, over 200 plus M's. Make over 50 plus million of dollars a year if you ball out this season, CJ Stroud. So he's going to be highly motivated. So the Texans are another team to watch. AFC South. I got my money on the Texans. They're a must-see team. With that defense, oh my goodness. All he had to do was just not goddamn throw interceptions. And what did he do? Throw interceptions. CJ Stroud, I'm expecting a lot from you this season, my guy. A lot. Sleeper team that I believe in the AFC West that's being not even a sleeper, but being kind of overlooked. Goddamn the Chiefs. Yeah. I said it. The Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes coming off a torn ACL. I still got my money on them. I still got my money on them being competitive, being good. And we shall see how the playoffs shake. We shall see how the playoff shakes. Because with Patrick Mahomes, he's like that. He's not going anywhere. Yes, he had an ACL. Even my quarterback had a knee injury. The greatest, the GOAT in time. Brady. So the Chiefs, don't sleep on them. I have no faith in Justin Herbert, so the Chargers ain't doing anything. The Chiefs, I got my money on them. The Raiders, they're the Raiders. They ain't doing crap this year. The Broncos, I don't believe in Bo Nix. I think last year was a fluke. Y'all made it to the AFC Championship game, but you should have lost. Well, you did lose, actually. But you shouldn't even have been there. You should have lost the game before. Against, who did they play? I know they played the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. I know that. But it was a game before that who they should have lost to. But, the Texans. The Texans should have beat them. But, once again, CJ Stroud threw about 4 interceptions. And that's how the Broncos got past them. Because they had less turnovers. So, sleeper team. They're not really a sleeper team, but don't sleep on the Chiefs, man. Don't sleep on the Chiefs. Don't do it. Don't do it. With that boy Patrick Mahomes, ain't counting him out. He's still one of the greatest. Still definitely one of the greatest. Y'all know what sleeper team, because right now we're talking about all the AFC teams, so we're going to continue to talk about the AFC teams. Next AFC team or AFC division, like I told y'all, the Steelers, man. I mean, not the Steelers. I lied. The Browns. Y'all know I got my money on the Browns. With that young core they got, they building. If Shedeur Sanders starts, I'm really putting all my eggs in the basket. I believe that they will make the playoffs. Shedeur Sanders starts, I believe the Browns will make the playoffs this year. Period. Point blank. Wouldn't even lie to you. Wouldn't lie to you. This division is wide open. Joe Burrow, you got to show me something. Can you stay healthy all season? And is that defense somewhat presentable? Because y'all been abysmal the last few seasons. Abysmal. Horrible. Shouldn't even be in the league. Horrible. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. But anyway. I got my money on the Browns coming out of AFC North. That's if I'm being honest, that's my number one sleeper team is the Cleveland Browns. But that's only if Shedeur Sanders starts. Even if he don't start, I say Deshaun Watson gets 4 games, potentially, maybe. But regardless, I got my money on Shedeur Sanders. I really do. Now, in the NFC North, hey, moving to the NFC, you know, my friend, who we going with. They're not a sleeper team because last year they woke some people up. In Ben Johnson's first year and Caleb Williams' second year. Now it's Caleb Williams' third year. And if he proves to have a good season, just like CJ Stroud, he going to be making 50-plus M's next year. If Colston can come along, Komet can come along, that boy Swift can still do some Swifted things. If, and I'm going to say if, because I'm not sold. So I got to continue to say if. But if Roman Dunze and Luther Burden can come along, dog, we going to be in good goddamn shape. The defense is already solid. It wasn't none crazy. Yes, we didn't bring back a lot of players, but that's because we believe in some of our other young players. We do. We got faith, and I believe in them too. But at the end of the day, we shall see how things shape out. But with Xavier Thomas, Devin Bush over there on the defensive side, who came from Cleveland last year, Cole Kmet, like I said, that boy Jordan Van Dan Berg, highly touted. That boy Kobe Bryant, not the actual fucking Kobe Bryant. That boy Malik Muhammad and some other boys on defense, if they can really come along this season, and if we not really hurting from some of the pieces that we gave up in this offseason, the Bears can have a real big season. I truly believe it, wholeheartedly. So yes, the sleeper team in the NFC North is my Bears. I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I don't believe in the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions aren't going anywhere. They tough as nails, and they coach by a hell of a great coach in Dan Campbell. I love the Lions and what they represent. They're not going anywhere. They will compete in this division. Green Bay, I believe they potentially may take a step back. I don't think Jordan Love's like that. And I believe this year we'll be proven that he's not like that. But we shall see. I digress. Next division that we got to talk about. The NFC East. Because y'all want to know my sleeper team out here in the NFC East? Ain't really a sleeper team. But I got my money on Jalen Hurts and them boys coming back alive. Yeah. Fly, Eagle, fly. And Brown now in Philly. Man, it's about to be, hey, it's up. It's up. Brown back in Philly now. Goddamn. The New York Giants, yes, getting John Harbaugh, Jackson Dart coming back, Cam Scottaboo. I'm not a believer in the fucking Giants. I'm not. I'm not. You got to convince me otherwise, New York. The Commanders, I wasn't too high on Jaden Daniels. Yes, he had a hell of a, probably one of the best rookie seasons we ever seen from a quarterback, period. It was damn near, we got spoiled watching him ball and go crazy. Then we got spoiled watching C.J. Stroud come in the league, ball and go crazy. Well, first it was C.J. Stroud, ball and go crazy. Now, Jaden Daniels entering his third season. He has a good season this year. Guess what? You get the bag. You don't? Yeah. Guess we'll see. But can Jaden Daniels stay healthy? Because he's proven to be the main piece with the Washington Commanders. Because last year he was up and down, not really healthy. And we saw what happened to the Commanders. But if Jaden Daniels can stay healthy, they can make some noise, potentially. But I'm not really a believer in any of those quarterbacks. Jackson Dart, I'm not a believer. And then I'm not that big of a believer in Jaden Daniels. Don't have to prove me otherwise, my guy. I just think you are a little bit of a faster, with a little bit of a better accuracy in arm than RG3. Prove me wrong. And then the Cowboys, all the Cowboys. Who cares about the Cowboys? I know y'all Cowboys fans like, what? Yeah, I'm not hitting on the Cowboys, dog. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Dak Prescott, that offense, they're going to do what the hell they're going to do every single year. But what is that defense talking about? Don't talk to me until y'all get that defense together. And potentially, hey, y'all might get that defense together because you did. Hey, that boy y'all got from Ohio State, the Cowboys, that boy y'all got from Ohio State, he one of them ones. He that boy one of them ones. I wouldn't even lie to you, dog. Wouldn't even lie to you. That boy is one of them goddamn ones. So we shall see. We shall see how it shapes up. That boy Caleb Downs, he gonna make a difference out there in Dallas. But is he gonna make a championship difference? Shit. No. No. But next team, next division, NFC West. And as you can see, I picked a sleeper from each division. Clearly. In this division, with Seattle coming off a Super Bowl, I think they take a step back because they lost their running back. I think they take a step back because last year was a fluke. I think they take a step back because I just don't believe in them. And the Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett, really. Bottom feeders. Picking in the first round, damn near like top 5 next year. The 49ers, though, is that my sleeper team in this division, or is it the LA Rams? Well, the LA Rams are damn near favorite now that they have Myles Garrett and Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford, all the boys. Yes, the LA Rams, they're favored in this division. The sleepers, 49ers. Yes, the Niners. With that boy, Brock Purdy. Not sold all the way. Not the hugest believer. But Kyle Shanahan, he coaches a hell of a fucking team. Kyle Shanahan, you still got that boy McCarthy in that backfield. Kyle Shanahan, I still believe in your coaching. So 49ers, you will be my sleeper team because I can't really say the Rams because now the Rams are Super Bowl favorites after getting Myles Garrett and potentially having Aaron Donald come back because Aaron Donald's been trading his ass off, and it's actual footage shown that Aaron Donald has been putting himself through a hell of a training regimen just to see if he potentially does want to come back. So, yeah. Anyway. Not the spread propaganda of fake news. I will highly recommend y'all don't buy these strawberries.
It is now confirmed America's #1 strawberry is tied to cancer, and most people are buying them every single week without knowing what is on them. Driscoll's controls 1/3 of every strawberry sold in America, and before those berries reach the shelf, they are sprayed with up to 371 chemical pesticides. They are putting the same chemicals used in mosquito spray on your strawberries and labeling them organic. Every berry starts as a lab-bred clone coated in Captan, the same compound found in paint preservatives, then submerged in fungicide baths that push 3 separate carcinogens directly into the flesh of the fruit. After that, they are bleached in chlorine and sealed in plastic so tightly that no amount of rinsing removes what is already absorbed into the berry itself. Nearly a third of all strawberries tested came back positive for phenthrin, a chemical with a direct link to cancer. They want you trusting the green packaging and the organic label, while carcinogens are absorbed into the fruit. Look for certified organic from small, verified farms, and never trust a brand controlling a third of the entire national supply to tell you what is actually on your food. This wisdom was never meant to go public, and now you have it.
And it's been a lot of spread. I just wanted to give y'all that quick little fact. This brand, dog, it does it. Like, I had these strawberries in my fridge, bro, for like maybe damn near 2-3 weeks, maybe damn near a month, bro. Didn't go damn near. It went bad just a little bit. Like, dog, it was like the craziest thing. I'm like, bro, strawberries usually go bad like after a week if you don't eat them. Why the fuck these still looking red? And what? You'll see for yourself. I don't really eat, like, I just started back eating strawberries, and I just happened to grab those strawberries. And then as soon as I grabbed those strawberries, literally like a day or two later, that's when I started seeing all these videos about those strawberries. So if you're eating Driscoll strawberries, I will highly recommend that you do not eat their strawberries. Just wanted to throw that out there. You know, just some, you know, a little tidbit. You know, hey, I told y'all learning. You know, Stock Wednesday coming up. So, you know, I want to teach y'all a little bit, a little something. But I think we have one more NFC team, in the NFC South, one more team to get to. I already hit on them, the Panthers. Which team did I forget about then? I hit on the AFC North. Yeah, I ain't forget about no teams. Okay, we hit on everybody. Awesome. Fantastic. Wonderful. All right, so with that being said, is it okay if we go back over to the Nolan Wells story? Let me know in the chat. Is it okay if I show y'all a few more things about this Nolan Wells case? Is that okay? Because I was going to say for not tomorrow, but maybe Wednesday after Stock Wednesday. But Wednesday is strictly just going to be about stocks. So if you want to hear about Nolan Wells, tune in either tomorrow or tune in probably Thursday again, because this will probably be the last day that we talk about Nolan Wells for a couple of days at least. So should we hit another Nolan Wells topic? I think I'm kind of done with my sports takes. You know, we talked about Shedeur Sanders. We talked about the other NFL competitions. I gave y'all some of my sleepers. In the NBA, we could talk about more about that boy Brian, if y'all really want to. I mean, we could. Y'all want to talk about that boy Brian? Asking for a friend. We can. But ain't nothing really special going on with Brian. It's just, can LeBron lead Jaylen Brown and them boys to a chip? Who knows? And this is cute. That's funny. They said the king, he's coming home to Philly. That's not his home, but it's his home temporary, and it may be his home forever if he bring him a chip. But LeBron said, hey, they said king. They put a crown in his locker. They said, King James, your locker waiting on you, my guy. Your locker waiting on you, big dog. King James said, better I be there. That's crazy. LeBron James is really fucking going to Philly, bro. What is life? LeBron, you gonna be playing some point guard in Philly? Let's hear about it.
Malika, we're going to be looking at some point LeBron James this upcoming season. The Sixers, I'm told, are expecting LeBron James to play a good amount of time and period of time at the point guard position on offense, initiating the game, the offense for Nick Nurse. Tyrese Maxey last season played a lot on the ball at point guard, and we know his prowess off the ball as a scorer. But we
saw it next to James Harden.
Think of a better player that can set the table for Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, VJ Edgecombe. There's all these players that can score, that can get the ball from LeBron James. And the one season LeBron spent at point guard in the NBA in his 23 seasons, the 2019-2020 season, Shanae, he led the league in assists.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers won the championship that year.
Yep.
And we never saw point LeBron again until
Preserved
potentially
in amber
this season. But the buzzword around the Sixers right now is sacrifice. And they're going to have a couple team mini camps in August that'll give the Sixers and LeBron James an opportunity to spend time with each other, to galvanize, to get that chemistry right before the start of the season. But Tyrese Maxey and LeBron James are already spending time working out in Los Angeles this week.
Man, hold on. Why y'all showing my pictures that I was just about to show, man? So Tyrese Maxey, they already reported it. Tyrese Maxey and LeBron, they getting work in the lab. All right, they getting work in the lab. They really out here putting in that work. Okay, they said what I was going to say. So Tyrese Maxey and that boy Brian. That boy Brian, I keep on shaving his head. You doing the right thing. You letting that line and go. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Brian. We like the look. You can dye your beard. That's cool. That's cool. He said, I'm gonna dye the beard, but I'm gonna let the hair go. I respect it. I respect it, Brian. I do. But in other news and in other topics, SO to Brown, man. SO to Philly for getting them. I mean, that pitch must have been a hell of a goddamn pitch. LeBron, you ain't ring chasing if you come here. We'll make it known. You come here, we'll build you a statue. We'll hang your jersey in the rafters as well. But yeah, dog. Yeah. Last time LeBron played point guard, though, he averaged 10 assists in the league. You know? Him playing point guard, letting Maxey play off the ball, Edgecombe play off the ball, Jaylen Brown play off the ball, and Embiid. LeBron has one of the highest IQs in basketball, if not the highest IQ, period. Him playing point guard, I'm not opposed to it. I actually like it. What was the deciding factor, though? What was the deciding factor, Brian? Why did you choose Philly?
Shams, now that the deal is done, looking at all of those details, what's the most important one to pick out?
Look, it was obvious. Money was of no consequence, no significance for LeBron James in this decision to sign with the Sixers. He's playing for the veteran minimum contract, the lowest amount that he can play for. And he made a decision at the outset of free agency that he was going to go somewhere where he felt he had the best chance to win a championship. No damn the money. It didn't matter what it came with. And he spoke to a few people importantly. Jaylen Brown spoke to Rich Paul, his agent, but Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Nick Nurse all spoke to LeBron James during the process to recruit him, to get him on board with this. And Nick Nurse was the only coach, my understanding was, that spoke to LeBron James during the process. That was very pivotal. And you think about the last hurdle over the last week or so as LeBron James was sifting through the Cavaliers, the Heat, and the Warriors and the Sixers was family. Going from L.A. all the way to the East Coast, that was a major change for LeBron James' lifestyle. So once he got Savannah, his young daughter Zuri, Bronny, and Bryce on board, he made the decision on Friday to go with the Sixers.
Bro. You going to the Sixers, though? Still crazy. I mean, I called it. I did. I really did. But for it to really happen, very unexpected. Very unexpected. But anyway, that's what LeBron, man. That's so LeBron. The hell? I'm not going to cover that. Anyway. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Asking for a friend. All right, I quit. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. I got some things I got to get into. Got some food I got to eat. Got some people I got to go see. All right, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. I did want to potentially get into another Nolan Wells topic really fast before I let y'all go. And to be quite honest with you, yeah, man, why not? Nolan Wells update coming from our online detective. Hold on. Our bedroom lawyer did speak, and she said this is getting spooky out here. For sure. Last update about Nolan Wells until later on this week. Potential.
Let's grade the students' work, which is way better than anybody else's do. But there's missing some things. We need Ike, who's the brother who owns the boat, who's also the racist from the thing on TikTok.
So what this is, actually, I don't know why I played this video. This is what the internet detectives have come up with so far in this case. My bad, y'all. I played the wrong video. All right. 7 people on board per CETO. So now we're putting all our attention on the boat. All right. This is what people have come up with. This is our own. Oh, I want to say her own. Goddamn breakdown. And with the branches, with the trees. If you can just imagine, I want you to just try to imagine this, okay? I just want you guys to try to imagine this. You're in a police department, right? You go into a room. You got the board on there, and then you got this arrow pointing there, this point there, that point there, that point there. Just imagine that. This is our internet version of that. Detectives, we're here to serve the community and the people of the community. All right? All right. But I just thought this was interesting. These are some of the suspects or some of the people of interest that we have to continue to learn about and continue to figure out if they had something to do with Nolan Wells' death. Interesting. Just wanted to show y'all that. She kind of broke it down. Didn't really say much about it. Hold on. What is she? Actually, let's show this video real quick. My bad, y'all.
And you have to do what you have to do to preserve the integrity of this investigation as best you can. But Madam DA, the simple fact that we have to do all of these acrobatics and all of the tear the whole world upside down just to get a simple charge is egregious. It is a horrible, abhorrent breach of duty just to get a charge. The name is Angel for a reason, ma'am. You have a chance to be an angel here. Now, don't be on the wrong side of history, ma'am. Don't be on the wrong side of history. Now, Madam DA, I understand you have to do what you have.
I agree. With this case, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. You don't want to be on the wrong side of history. You don't. Hold on. All right, I'm not going to show this video. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all that. Let me see if we got any more updates coming from any of our people that we actually show regularly on this pod. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, let's get to this.
An Xavier Wells update and just a few questions, okay? So the coordinates that Wyatt gave to Vicky when the boat was sinking are in a shallow area of Horn Island. So it doesn't make sense. How is he sinking? He said his boat was in 17, then he said it was in 31 feet of water. But if you look at these coordinates, look at point 1 that I have here on this graph. This is shallow water. You can literally see the sandbar below. Now, point 2 is where the United Cajun Navy allegedly responded and was looking for Nolan. And then point 3 is where they allegedly approximately found Nolan. Now, we know he was more on the shore. But what doesn't make sense to me is why would they say they were sinking if the coordinates he gave weren't in an area that was sinking, right? Now, here's something else. Officer Race Batum Tatum is saying that the audio, you just hear what you want to hear. He's saying it's now been confirmed by TMZ that Nolan was still on the island when the boat left. But the reason everybody says, why would the kids say all this stuff? You know, Charles from TMZ says it Because if you listen closely, the minute Wyatt starts talking, everybody hushes up. Everything important was said before they realized that Wyatt is on that call. Another thing, if somebody was allegedly out of town on this day, why was their name listed on the report, and why would his name be called out in this audio? Here's the thing. He says, we're going down, we're sinking. So if that is true, why would Jerry Ackerson, your grandfather, cancel the tow? Why would you cancel the Coast Guard if you are sinking? Wouldn't you think the grandfather, who's the owner of that boat, and those are his grandkids, would want to just make sure those kids were safe? Why would you cancel the tow? This seems like an alibi phone call to me. Now, you can hear on the recording, he tells somebody, jump in and pull the plug. Now, if you pull the plug on the hull, that means the boat will start to fill with water. And this only works if the boat is moving, and then water will drain out. But their boat was not moving when he yells, jump out. Now, this leads people to allegedly believe that they weren't even on the boat. And another thing, there's a person of interest, allegedly Griffin Miles, who owns a boat detailing company who they think could have been allegedly the person who was cleaning the boat. This just goes under things that make you go, Why would Wyatt give coordinates saying they're sinking when they are literally in 4 to 8 feet of water, not sinking? Ask yourself that. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world.
Yeah, he poses good questions, don't he, Chad? He poses a few good questions. He really does. So, with him posing those few good questions, it leads us to believe. It leads us to believe. It leads us to believe. What the hell is really going on with this case? It leads us to question a lot. Especially this tow call. Especially this tow call. Just saying. Just saying. And with this tow call, I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. It's only going to get a little bigger, a little crazier, and potentially even a little worse for some people. So we shall see. We shall see. Man, what a day. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me give y'all another opinion. Last opinion of the night before we get up out of here.
The thing about the CTO call is this. And the CTO call, to me, it seems like 18-year-old Nolan Wells is on that boat. And not only that, that people are checking on 18-year-old Nolan Wells by asking questions about 18-year-old Nolan Wells. I also feel like I heard Nolan's name being said on that audio, as well as Bart's name being said on that audio. And we all know that by Warren's account, allegedly in that interview, he had stated that Bart had already left. So it would then raise the question of why would Bart's name be mentioned in that audio if his name was mentioned in that audio like we feel like we heard. I feel like I heard Bart's name. But I also feel like I hear people checking on 18-year-old Nolan Wells. And not only that, the person that's on the call, you could tell that that person on the call was shook up, but not shaken up because of water inside of the boat. I feel like they were shaken up. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is not a fact. This has not been put out, but this is my opinion. I feel like that person was shook up because they really didn't know what was going to happen to 18-year-old Nolan Wells. They were worried in themselves. And at first, I feel like they wanted to report to get some help to go ahead and to come out to see if they could potentially be able to save and or to help 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Now, again, in my opinion, I feel like that person probably did not go through with it because somebody might have already put 18-year-old Nolan Wells in the water. So that person might not have been able to make that decision yet to be able to say, hey, yeah, come on out here or whatnot and everything. And once that happened, I feel like that's when that person decided to go ahead and to counsel that CTO and or to say that they don't need the Coast Guard to go ahead and come in to be able to help them. Again, I want to keep reminding everybody, this is just my opinion on what I think.
Yeah, I appreciate your opinion. Yeah. What y'all think, chat? Different way to look at it. Different way to slice it. But we don't know. We don't know. And that's the question of them all. We don't know. And we can speculate all we want, but I pray, hopefully in due time. Hopefully in due time, we get the answers that we need and that we're looking for. That's all we can hope for. That's it. Nolan Wells, he deserves answers. He deserves answers. His family deserves answers. That's it. That's all. There should be answers. That's it. That's all. There should be answers. We need answers. So, real quick, actually, let's not play that. We heard Nancy's audio, and I think that was good enough. Oh, all right. Anyway, that's it. That's all for Nolan Wells today. I was going to try to show y'all at least one more video, but hey, I got stuff I got to do, and I'm getting text about it right now. So, I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon. We will uncover more that has to do with Nolan Wells in this case, in this investigation. We will continue to talk about Nolan Wells, and we will continue to say his name at the end of the day. And we pray, and all we can do is just pray that he gets justice one day. So, with that being said, that's all she wrote, folks. I appreciate you. I love you. And, yeah, we going to talk soon. Because guess what? We out. I'm out. Deuces.
Hey, we live now, really.